Welcome back to the Minnesota Vikings franchise rebuild. This is episode 16, and today we're stepping into a critical 3-game stretch that's going to tell us exactly who this team is becoming under QB JJ McCarthy as we start season 2. We open at home against the New Orleans Saints, a team that can look completely different depending on who lines up under center. Whether it's their big-armed rookie Pat Lidge that they drafted, the timing-based Mac Jones that they signed, or the unpredictable Spencer Rattler, this is a defense stress test. Our Disguise 3-4 has to confuse, pressure, and force mistakes. Offensively, this is going to be a vertical zone run showcase. We need to win early downs, create multiple run lanes, and hit those deep play action shots that define the system. If we can control the tempo, we'll control game 1. We're going to have 3 games, 3 different environments, all in one episode that can swing the entire season. But before we dive in, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a Vikings episode. And if you want deeper access, slider PDFs, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive rebuild material, check out the channel membership and our Patreon page with multiple tiers including Patreon exclusive lore for the new Nations Football League franchise that's coming soon. All right, let's go ahead and jump in and get this episode rolling. So we're picking up here at the bayou. On our last episode, we did all of our cuts, so we're actually going to go ahead and just fast forward right into week 1. All right, now that we're in week 1, we can go ahead and choose our draft class. And of course, you know me, I always stick with keep auto-generated rookies. All right, so now we can go ahead and hire and assign scouts. All right, and after going over my roster and seeing the needs based off of who I got signed and all that good stuff, which if you want to see that in full detail, you can check out the vertical zone run guide that I got on my channel. But we're going to go ahead and go into scouts. We're going to fire all these guys because we're not going to use any of them. And then we can go ahead and hire. So the first one's going to be my national scout, which I'm actually going to be only doing 2 stars. And that's going to be for a halfback. Because I think we need some supplementation to Jordan Mason in there because he'll be the only running back we have signed next season. And I want to get a young rookie in there to really build around. And I don't want to keep using free agency if I don't have to. So I'm going to do running back, and my options for 2 stars is also for secondary expertise, interior O-line, Mike, and offensive tackle. So I think we're going to go ahead and do interior O-line for the secondary. So we'll confirm that. My next hire is going to be for the West, which will be a 1-star corner. And then our options here is Mike, tight end, and Mike for the secondaries. And I think we're going to go ahead and do tight end just because I do want to see some depth to eventually probably replace Josh Aller because we do need a new number 1, number 2 eventually. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then for the central, we're going to do a 3-star edge. So let's see what our options for that is. And that's going to be D tackle and linebacker. And out of those, I think I'm going to need D tackle, linebacker the most because we really filled up D tackles with the last draft. And I do have some holds on my linebacking corps, especially for backups and a starter for next year. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that for our scout there. And then the Northeast is going to be middle linebackers. And I need a 1-star there. So let's get down to middle linebackers. And we don't need to double up on Mike. So we're going to have offensive tackle, edge, which could be good, or safety. So safety, I'm going to need a starter next year most likely. Or at least a good solid rookie eventually to replace. And since we've already got quite a few edge being scouted, I'm going to go ahead and do safety on this one. And then for our final one for the Southeast is going to be a 1-star wide receiver scout. And then we don't need QB. It's probably going to be safety again, safety or a corner. And I think there's only 1 safety in the Southeast, so let's go ahead and do corner for this one. All right, so then we can go ahead and hire in our scouts to their assigned locations. So our national will be halfback, wide receiver. It's going to be our Southeast. Linebacker. It's going to be our Northeast. Edge is going to be our Central. And then corner is going to be our West. And we'll go over prospects and all that in like week 13 when I build the draft board. I'll do that in the video for you guys to see and all that good stuff. But now we can go ahead and jump right into our weekly strategy for a home game against the New Orleans Saints. All right, and for this week, we're going to go ahead and use Blitzbuster as the Saints are going to blitz heavily, and this will help hopefully protect McCarthy and keep our play action timing clean. And then I'm also going to use Play Fake Magician, mainly because this will amplify my play action influence and hopefully will help open up those deep shots early. Then we're going to use Riot Shield with the +7 to awareness and pass block power for the offensive line. This will be massive against the Saints blitz, and hopefully will give our front a little bit more wins against their defense and the disguise pressure they may show. Then we're going to go with Trench Barons, mainly because we do run a vertical zone run scheme, so that does rely on quite a bit of double teams and combo blocks. So hopefully this will make our zone run game a little bit more efficient and consistent, I guess would be the better word. And then we're going to use Ahead of the Chains. This will help hopefully reduce some block sheds on those early downs that will help set up play action explosives in those later downs as we get things going. And then of course I'm going to go Stamina Stealer. Hopefully with us leaning into the run game a little bit more, hopefully we're going to get more than 4 yards per rush, and then that for every single one of those will fatigue their D-line, which will help open up the running game even more, which then in turn will make our main focus, which is obviously play action, should make it even deadlier as the game progresses through the quarters. For play sheets, I'm going to use West Coast play sheet and shots play sheet. So even though we're running vertical zone run, West Coast has some similar things to our scheme, which is why you can use that play sheet even though it's technically not for it, mainly because it's, so remember, play sheets don't replace your playbook. So it just kind of directs AI logic to which direction it should call. And the fact that the West Coast play sheet adds support to our scheme by mainly focusing on like middle field attacks, under center play action calls. They have lots of quick rhythm throws. Not to mention with it being silver already, I do get that +3 to all pass blocking attributes. So that actually doesn't conflict with our vertical zone run scheme. It will actually enhance it with the abilities that I'm going to get from that play sheet. And then with the shots play sheet, and yes, I'm going double offense on this one because I think our defense is pretty good based off of what I've seen, and I want to really see them without any buffs. But I know our offense can be weak at times and inconsistent, so I'm trying to zero in on that, especially after our end of record last year. I don't want the #1 pick this year. I hope that with the draft we've done and the free agent additions stuff, I hope we can at least be competitive. I don't know if we're ready for a playoff run quite yet, but I do feel like we should be more competitive and maybe in the talks of, to possibly challenge for a wild card spot. I don't see us being a divisional winner, but I do see the changes we've made, especially on the defense, could potentially push us into a wild card or on, the outside kind of looking in spot. So the reason I'm doing shots is because this is going to add in deep posts, deep crossers, and quite a bit of those deep play action bombs. And once again, this also gives +3 to pass block attributes. So hopefully with both of these combined, we'll be able to punish the Saints' aggressive safeties and force their QBs into a chase mode, which then obviously not knowing who they're going to go through, whether it's their rookie, whether it's Spencer Rattler or Mac Jones who they signed. Hopefully it will make them have to play from behind, which would then force bad deep throws, collapse their timing, and hopefully our defense can confuse them with disguise and pressure so we can directly attack the weaknesses of all three without having to use play sheets for the defense, if you get what I'm saying. And then for trainer abilities, let me go back down to it. We are going to use off-field rejuvenation. That way it helps keep our roster fresh throughout, multiple weeks. And then we're going to use impact guard, which is going to be critical for our O-line this game, and possibly even our halfbacks, linebackers, and D-line, especially since it's going, a full season, and this will reduce their in-game wear and tear by 10%. So it will help delay some of those rotations a little bit, and at the same time, not have them as tired as compared to their defense, who hopefully with the stamina stealer ability, we're going to make their fatigue even higher. So that should give us key wins in the positions that we need the most. So let's go ahead and advance with this as our loadout for the Saints. And then, of course, here for our focus players, we are going to have Nick Rutledge, Corbin Darby, and Jonathan Albertson, who are 3 key pillars that we're going to be building around. So we're going to keep them as our focus players. And now let's go ahead and check to see if we need to do any half pads or rustings. For offense, looks like we are pretty good. I am going to go ahead and let Josh Oliver half pad. And let's see, that's it for offense. And on defense, Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins is going to half pad. And let's see if we have anyone else. We do not. So that is it for that. We can go ahead and simulate training, and we'll see if or who we won't have for week 1. All right, so it looks like on offense and defense, nobody is injured, so we will have our full roster for week 1, which is unheard of, especially for the Vikings. I don't think we've had a full roster for week 1 in over a decade, to be honest with you at this point. But it's going to happen here in Madden, so let's go ahead and jump back to the main menu for franchise and see if we have any upgrades. And we did have some upgrades, so we have Sion Takataki. We're going to go ahead and upgrade his run stopper, and let's see what we get for him as far as upgrades go. We do get +1 across the board for awareness, block shedding, man coverage, play rec, and tackle, so not a bad set of upgrades for him. Then we also have Kevin Leonard, one of our rookie corners that we pulled in. We're going to upgrade his man-to-man. I'm hoping we can eventually make him a CB4 after this year and maybe even push him into a CB3 role at the end of the season or next season. He's going to get a +3 to man coverage and +1 to play rec. And the reason I was really interested in him, if you remember, he is a 6'1" rookie. He's almost 200 pounds. And when we look at his ratings, he has 90 speed, 76 press, which isn't too bad. His acceleration's 88, jumping is 92. So he's tall and he can jump. And his zone coverage is pretty good, but we want to work up his man coverage. So, I mean, to make him be able to cover both of those pretty good and get his play rec up, I mean, he's got a core of a pretty decent corner. Not to mention his injury rating at 96. He's rarely going to get injured. His awareness wasn't too bad as a rookie at 63, so we'll be able to develop into a more aware soon. You know, and then the fact, I mean, his tackle is low, but I'm hoping we don't need him tackling as much with his jumping ability and agility and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of see how it goes. It's kind of a, you know, a developmental piece that could be a hit or a miss for us. And then our final upgrade is going to be our free agent signing Leonard Taylor III. And we'll upgrade his nose tackle. He was just a filler, kind of rear end for rotations and stuff like that. And we're going to get +1 for awareness, +2 for play rec, and +2 for tackle. And just to jump in so you guys can see our starting lineup. So, of course, we have J.J. McCarthy at QB. We have Jordan Mason at halfback. Adam Prentice at fullback. And then, of course, you've got Jefferson at wide receiver 1. Jordan Addison at wide receiver 2. And Ty Felton at wide receiver 3. Our starting O-line is Christian Darrisaw, Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Runts, Brian O'Neill. And then tight end is T.J. Hawkinson. On defense, we are running for a D-line. Our front 3 is going to be our draftee Darby and Hampton with Jonathan Allen. Our edges is going to be Andrew Van Ginkel and Grenard, with Dallas Turner being a rotational piece for both of them. And then for Mike, we're going to have Blake Cashman. Our Will's Nick Rutledge, who's making a huge impact on preseason, so I hope that translates over to the regular season. At free safety, we did sign Wingard. And then, of course, at strong safety, we have Metellus. And then to go ahead and jump down to our corners, of course, we're running it back with Isaiah Rogers and Byron Murphy, and we did sign Asante Samuel Jr. to be our CB3, and we have Jackson at CB4, and then, of course, our rookie at 5. For special teams, obviously, we've signed a new punter in McKenzie. Of course, we keep Will Reichard. Our punt returner is going to be Isaiah Rogers. Our long snapper is new at Andrew Barner, and then we're going to have Shepard as our kick returner, along with Justice Hill in back there. We have Thornton and Felton that could be back there too, but I want to see what Shepard's able to do. I signed him and drafted him specifically kind of for that role, so we'll see how that works out. Going to our specialists, of course, our nose tackle, when we go that route, is going to be Jonathan Allen. Our sub linebacker is going to be Cashman. Our slot corners, Samuel. If we go to our rushing right end, it's going to be Dallas Turner. Left end's Jonathan Grenard. Rushing D tackle be Jonathan Allen. Slot wide receivers, Ty Felton. Gadget player, of course, is Justin Jefferson. Our 3-down running back is Justice Hill. And then, of course, our power halfback is going to be Jordan Mason. And then on our practice squad, we do have Bradford, Brosmer, Miles Price, Colbert, Bates, Roos, Taylor, Kobe King, Sheldon, who's that? King Basote, Larson, and Pierman. So that's how our lineup is starting off this season. So without further ado, I will see you guys in week 1 at home against the New Orleans Saints. All right, so after forcing a Saints punt on their first series of the game, it's going to be Vikings ball now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. McCarthy under center, makes a handoff to Mason, looking to pass, has a shot, and it's going to go to Ty Felton. And what a move by Felton to get to the 50-yard line, and that's going to be 27 yards on the first play of the game for this Vikings offense. Now McCarthy's going to be under center, has Mason in the backfield, going to send Ty Felton in motion, sends him back to the bottom. This time it is going to be a handoff to Mason, and he's going to go nowhere. That'll be a loss of 1 on the play. So now McCarthy's going to come out this time. He'll be in shotgun. He's going to have Mason to his right. Then take the snap. He's got time. Clean pocket. Gets the throw off. And that's going to be to Justin Jefferson for his first catch of the new season. And that's going to be a gain of 6 yards to bring up a 3rd and 5 at the 44-yard line. McCarthy empty set backfield. You got trips to the top of your screen. McCarthy with time. Gets the throw off, and that's going to go to Justin Jefferson, and that's going to be a Vikings first down. And that's 18 yards on 2 catches now for our superstar Justin Jefferson in game 1 of the season. So here we go now, 1st and 10 from the 32. McCarthy's going to be under center, Mason in the backfield. Going a dual tight set there. It looks like they're going to hand it off to Mason, who's going to go forward for a gain of 1, which brings him back to 0 yards for the game so far. So it'll be 2nd and 9 now at the 30. This offense is starting to gel right out the gate, which is great to see. McCarthy empty backfield, clean pocket. It's going to go to Ty Felton on a, looks like that was some sort of crossing route. And that's going to be a gain of, 3 for Ty Felton. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 now at the 28. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun again with Mason to his right. He takes a snap. Or no, that's not Mason. That's going to be Hill in there. And he's going to get in TJ Hawkinson, who makes the first tackle miss, and he's going to go down to the 11. But we have a holding call on the play. And who's going to be responsible for pulling us back? And that's our senior right tackle, Brian O'Neill. That's going to bring us back to a 3rd and 16 after a great catch and run there by TJ Hawkinson. But nonetheless, McCarthy with a clean pocket gets it. He's going to throw one deep. He's going to air it to the end zone, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver, and that was supposed to be for Jordan Addison. And that's going to force a long field goal attempt. This one's going to be from 54 yards from the right hash for Reichert. It's definitely inside of his range. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. And Reichert misses his first kick of the season, and we still have a 0-0 ball game, and not how we wanted to start things, going wide left. So now here comes the Saints offense after that missed field goal by Will Reichert. It's 1st and 10 now at their own 45. It gets it, and that's a quick pass over to Najee Harris, who makes the first tackler miss. It's Isaiah Rodgers, just like in real life, he can't tackle apparently. And it's now going to be 1st and 10 at the Vikings 28-yard line. Lidge fakes the handoff to Najee, passes it out, and that's going to be a gain of 1 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 9. And now we're depending on our defense to hold the line here for us. So in shotgun, Litch takes a snap, quick rush out, that's a screen set up, and he's going to be met by Cashman and Metellus, and that's going to be a loss of 1 on the play to bring up a 3rd and 10. Great job by our defense to read that and stop that screen from developing. Now Ledge is going to be in shotgun with the snap. He's got time. He's tried to scramble, but that freaking lane came down closing quick. That wasn't Allen. I want to say that was Darby. But here we go now. This is going to be a 45-yard attempt from the left hash for the Saints now. Their kick is up, and their kick is good to take a 3-0 lead over the Vikings here at US Bank Stadium. All right, so after the Saints take a 3-0 lead to that field goal, it's now McCarthy and his offense going to come out 1st and 10. I formation. McCarthy fakes it, does a toss out to Mason, who has nothing but green for little ways, breaks through the first would-be tackle, and that's going to be a gain of 8 on the play, tackled by Quincy Riley. and that brings up a 2nd and 2 at the 31. This offense moved pretty good on their first series. They did stall out, and given record missed a 54-yard field goal, but it was nice to see them put some drives together. And Mason bounces off the first tackler and turns what should have been a loss into a gain of about 3 or 4, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 for this Vikings offense at their own 35-yard line. And once again, they're starting to string together first down after first down. So McCarthy in shotgun, Mason to his right. He's going to hand it off, and Mason's going to get about 2 on the play, and there's going to be a timeout this time due to an injury. Who got injured on the play? And it's going to be Mason. Looks like he's got an injured ankle on the play. So that's going to end up bringing in our second stringer, Justice Hill, as the running back now to start, unless Mason's able to come back. But we're going to go an empty set. Trips slot up at the top there. McCarthy with the snap, clean pocket, plenty of time, and he's going to scramble as the pocket closes, and that's going to be a heck of a scramble. They did not contain him at all, and that's 21 yards on the scramble. Great job by McCarthy to get that, and it's another 1st and 10 for the Vikings in Saints territory. So it'll now be a 1st and 10 on the Saints 42-yard line. McCarthy's going to be under center. It looks like that is Hill in at running back. Fakes the handoff. McCarthy rolls out, and that's going to be the first sack of the game, and that's edge rusher Chase Young coming in for an 11-yard sack to bring a 2nd and 21. And that knocks us completely out of any field goal range possibility there. So now in 2nd and 21 at our own 47, McCarthy under center. He's going to pass it out to Josh Oliver, and he's going to go forward for a gain of about, 5? And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 16 on the Saints 48. We're still out of field goal range, so we need to get at least another about 10 yards here. McCarthy, they're sending in a blitz, but McCarthy's able to get it to Hawkinson, who's able to not quite make it to the first down marker, but it is going to be 4th and 1 at the 34. Let's see what they decide to do. And we're going to go for it. I like to see that. Let's go. So McCarthy under center in I formation. Looks like Mason is back from injury. We're going to hand it to Mason, who makes a move. He gets to the edge, and it's a first down and more. Stiff arms the first tackler, spins off the second. He's finally brought down at the 13-yard line. What a run by Mason to bring up a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And now the Vikings are knocking on the door here. McCarthy, empty backfield, gets the snap, clean pocket. Oh, he runs in, but that pocket got pushed back. Looks like Donovan Jackson was pushed back right into him. And Carl Granderson's going to get in there for the 2nd sack of the game for the Saints. That's going to be a 6-yard loss on the sack to bring up a 2nd and 16 now at the 20. McCarthy's going to be under center in I formation. Looking to pass, a quick throw out, and that's going to be caught, and that's going to be most likely Jordan Addison over on that side to bring up a gain of 5 and a 3rd and 11 now. McCarthy, empty backfield, gets the snap. He's moving around the pocket, gets the throw off, and it's going to be incomplete. Jefferson had it, but he dropped it on contact, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 11 and likely another field goal attempt. And it is. So this is going to be a 31-yard attempt from the right hash. Record missed his first kick of the game, 54-yarder, but this chip shot should be good, and it is. And we have us a 3-3 tie ball game here at the bank. All right, so after the Vikings field goal tied it at 3, Ledge comes out with the Saints offense, 1st and 10 at their own 26. A minute 43 to go in the first. Under center, takes a snap. He's going to scramble out, and he's going to slide down just as Cashman and Rogers were closing in on him. That'll be a 6-yard gain on that scramble. It'll be a 2nd and 4 now at their own 32. Ledge under center, drops back, a huge long drop. He's able to get the ball out before they get there. That tackle is going to be by Cashman, and it looks like maybe didn't see who the other player was in there. I want to say probably Metellus or somebody, but 1st and 10 now at the 44. Ledge under center, hands it off to Najee Harris, who's going to get maybe 1 on a play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 9. And let's see if they get this snap off before the end of the quarter. They likely will. Let's see. And actually they don't. So at the end of 1, we have a tie 3-3 ball game here at US Bank Stadium between the Vikings and the Saints. All right, so now here at the top of the second quarter, 2nd and 9 for the Saints from their own 44. Lidge is going to come out in shotgun. He had Najee Harris to his left, takes it, he throws it across, and it's going to be a 3-yard gain on the play. Chris Olave there on the reception. So it's now 3rd and 6 at the 48-yard line. They're almost approaching midfield. Another stop here would be great for this defense to get some home momentum. It's called, and it will be short, and it's going to be 4th and inches at the 47. Great stop by Byron Murphy there, and let's see what the Saints decide to do. And the Saints are going to go for it. So this is likely going to be a QB sneak, and QB sneaks have been pretty successful in Madden. I've seen 1 stop so far. And they're not going to do it. They're going to drop back. He's going to move around. He gets a throw off, and it's going to be caught, and he's going to hold on to possession. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Saints at the 45-yard line, and Olave leading the way on that reception. Now here we go. They're going to be ledge under center. I formation. He's going to look to pass, quick throw out, and it's going to be caught once again, and that's going to be a 9-yard gain, and to bring up a 2nd and 1 now at the 36. And now suddenly this Saints offense is putting together this drive. So we'll see what happens. We need our defense to lock things back in here. Letch with the snap, looking. He throws it across the middle, and it's going to be complete once again. And that's the 5th catch for Chris Olave this game. And another Saints 1st down. So here we go. 1st and 10 now at their own 27, or at the Vikings 27-yard line. They're going to send a man in motion. Let's going to hand it off to Najee Harris, who's going to get in the backfield. And it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and 11 now at the 28. And we had some problem with Najee Harris's first couple of runs, but we've pretty much had him shut down since. So that's great to see the defense make an adjustment on that. Lidge now drops back. He's got an open receiver. He's going to get to him, and he's going to get tackled. And that's Olave once again. And that's going to be a gain of a couple to bring up a 3rd and 2 now at the 19-yard line. Lidge in shotgun, hands it off, and that's their backup right back. I want to say that looks like Kamara's still. And he's going to be stopped. And that's going to force a 4th down attempt and another Saints field goal most likely. And the Vikings call a timeout. I guess they're going to go for it. So it's going to be a 4th and 2 at the 19, and they're going to come out in offset I formation and hand it to their fullback, who's met, and he's able to not get it. Then Jonathan Allen was able to stop him, and now to be a turnover on downs, and the Vikings have the ball 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. What a job by the defense to stand firm on that 4th down. So here we go now with the momentum on our side. McCarthy under center, Mason in the backfield, fakes the handoff, rolls left, gets it to Jefferson. That's going to be a gain of 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 8 now at the 19. McCarthy's going to come out offset I formation this time. Still got Mason all the way in the back of the backfield. Or no, that's Justice, sorry. Justice is going to get it. He's going to make it to the edge. It's going to be a 1st down. He jukes the first defender, makes the 35-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 16 for Justice Hill. And I forgot Mason is out injured. So it's Justice Hill in there now at halfback. So it's 1st and 10 now at the 35. McCarthy under center. Hands it off to Hill, who pushes his way forward once again. And that's going to be a gain of 6 on the play. And suddenly they can't answer the running game from Hill. So now it's 2nd and 4 at the 41. And it does look like Hill in there now. It looks like Mason might be back. We'll see. I'll have to see the number. But that looks like, no, it's not Mason. That is Hill. Okay. And that's going to be caught by Jordan Addison, and that's going to be another Vikings 1st down at the 44-yard line. And yeah, 23 is Justice Hill. I got to remember that. So McCarthy with the snap. He's got time. He's moving around the pocket. He's able to get a pancake from the fries there, but he has to throw it out of bounds. And it's going to be a 2nd and 10 now at the 44. McCarthy tried to make something out of nothing, but couldn't get anything done. So now here we go in shotgun, 2nd and 10. He's got Hill to his left. McCarthy looking to pass, has time, gets it over to Hill, who's able to get a gain of about 3 on the play down to the 40-yard line. So it's now 3rd and 7 at the 40. McCarthy's going to come out empty set. They're going 4 wide at the top of your screen. McCarthy with the snap. They send a blitz. It's going to be a quick shot over to Hawkinson. A loss of 3 with Kool-Aid McKinstry on the tackle, and that's going to force a Vikings 4th down. All right, so here we are now after the Vikings had to punt. It's a couple back-to-back punts, still a 3-3 ball game, 2:42 to go here in this first half. Litch takes the snap really quick, shoots it out, and he makes a defender miss. Who was that just whiffed on that? That's probably Isaiah Rodgers based off of what we've seen so far. And that's a gain of about 9.5. They're going to call it a 2nd and inches now. Litch under center. He's going to hand it off to Najee Harris, who's going to get blasted by Nick Rutledge in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 2. That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning, where it's still a 3-3 ball game here at the bank. And now at the top of the 2 minutes, 3rd and 2 at their own 31. Litch takes the snap. They're going to send in a rush. They're able to get the ball off just in time, and it's going to be a 1st down. Isaiah Rodgers finally makes a tackle. And now it looks like Banks Jr., who's responsible for a holding call that canceled out a good play on the previous series, is now out of the game, and that's going to be a hard thing to stop now that their starting left tackle is out. So it's 1st and 10 now at the 36, and let's see how that affects this defense. They're able to get it out to Olave, who's got plenty of room, and he's able to race his way down the sideline. It's going to get all the way down to the 28-yard line. That's his 7th catch on the game. That's 75 yards here in this first half. That's 1st and 10 now at the 28. Lidge gets it. He's going to throw it, and that's going to go to his tight end. And Pat Lidge is looking sharp for the most part. And the Vikings call a timeout, and it's still 3-3. But, man, these Saints are now knocking on the door at a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Minute 24 to go. Lidge in shotgun. Got Najee Harris behind him. So it's more of a pistol look, and he's going to get it to his tight end, and that's going to be a Saints touchdown. And who is that tight end? Number 84. That's going to be a rookie, Emmett Lumen, to take a 10-3 lead over the Vikings. All right, so after that touchdown by the Saints, they have a 10-3 lead over the Vikings. The Vikings have one timeout and a minute 17 to go in this first half. They do get the ball to start the second, so hopefully we can double dip here. Pass over to Addison, and that's going to be a 1st down and more. Gain of 12 on the play to bring up a 1st and 10 now at the 38-yard line. We're also going to wait to call our final timeout here. So McCarthy's calling out, changes that line. Under center, it's got Hill in the backfield, quick throw out, and that's got to be dropped. Unbelievable. And now we're looking at a 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line. McCarthy's going to be empty backfield this time. Keeping Oxen in to block, it looks like. He's going to throw a bullet across the middle of the field, and that's going to be to Justin Jefferson, who's going to get a major 1st down to the 39-yard line. And we're now knocking on the door. We're at least in field goal range for Reichert. It's 1st and 10 now at the 39. McCarthy with the throw. He overthrows T.J. Hawkinson on that one. That stops the clock at least. Now 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun. He's got Justice Hill to his right. Quick throw out to Hill, who's got blockers. He's able to get to a 1st down and more. He's running down the sideline. He's going to go out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And that's 1st and 10 for the Vikings now inside the red zone. Now McCarthy's going to be in shotgun again with Hill to his left. Takes a snap, clean pocket, gets the throw off, and it's going to be to Addison, and that's caught for a gain of 5. And it's going to be a 2nd and 5 now at the 11. And the Vikings are knocking on the door, tying up this game. They have 16 seconds and one timeout left. McCarthy with the snap, clean pocket. He's going to throw it out to Hill, who's able to force his way to almost a 1st down. We're going to have to call our first timeout. And it's going to be 3rd and inches at the 6 now. So this is going to have to be a quick play if we're going to want to at least get a field goal out of this one. They're going for 6. They send a blitzer, and he just throws it off the field goal post, and there's going to be a flag on the play. They're going to call holding on the play. What in the world? I've never seen a QB throw it off the field goal post. And Christian Darisaw on the hold, so that's going to be a 3rd and 10 field goal attempt now. So this would be a 33-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. Reichert's hit one of his 2 attempts today, and that one is good to make it a 10-6 Saints lead. So the Saints decided to punt instead of attempting a 59-yard field goal on their last drive. So it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings now at the 3. Still 10-6 after back-to-back punts. We're going to hand it off to Hill, who's able to get forward for a gain of about 2. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 now at the 5-yard line. Vikings trying to get some breathing room here. McCarthy's going to be under center. He's going to send Jefferson in motion. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it out to Jefferson, who has some green, tries to make a man miss, and ends up getting about 3 on the game. So that's going to be a 3rd and 5 now at the 8-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun. It's got Hill to his right, takes the snap. He's got time, clean pocket. He's able to throw it. Justin Jefferson's wide open over the middle. There's going to be a flag on the play, though. And it's going to be an illegal block in the back by offense, which is going to cancel out that play. That's on Jordan Addison. That's going to force a 3rd and 3 now at the 10-yard line. So we're still able to get a couple of yards out of it, but nonetheless, it's not a 1st down. So let's see what McCarthy can do here. Still got a clean pocket that's closing quickly. So he's going to scramble, and that's a 1st down and more. And he's going to slide down at the 24-yard line. Great scrambling there by McCarthy when he saw a lane and was able to get that 1st down. So here we are now, 1st and 10 at their own 24, making progress. They start at their own 3. McCarthy under center, Hill in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Hill, who makes it past the 1st tackle, but not the 2nd. It's going to be a loss of 1 to bring up a 2nd and 11 now at the 23-yard line. McCarthy now in an empty set here. Looks like they're going 4 wide. McCarthy with the snap. He's going to throw it on a slant to Jefferson, who's going to get a 1st down and more. That's going to be a gain of about 12. So it'll be a 1st and 10 now at the 35-yard line. McCarthy once again under center. Gets a snap. He's going to hand it off to Hill, who's able to force his way forward for a gain of about 4. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 now at the 39-yard line. And the Vikings offense is slow but methodical on this drive, so we'll see what happens. McCarthy fakes the handoff, throws it, and the pass is caught. Not for very many, but that is caught for a gain of a couple to bring up a 3rd and 4 now at the 41-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun. He has Hill to his right with the snap. With time, he gets the throw off, and he throws a bullet to Felton, and it's going to be down to the 35-yard line. And that's 200 yards on the day now for McCarthy, and a 1st and 10 for our Vikings at the Saints 35. And McCarthy's going to come out in shotgun. He's got Hill to his right again. He's going to hand it off to Hill, who has a hole, and he couldn't make the tackle or miss, but he does get 4 out of the play. And it's now 2nd and 6 at the 30. And the Vikings are looking to try to put this in to take a lead here late in this 3rd quarter. Got to do an audible at the line. Sends 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. McCarthy pump fakes, and he's going to go down. And that's the Saints' 4th sack on the game. And that's Carl Granderson's 2nd to force a 3rd and 11 now. So we need something to happen here for McCarthy in this offense. We don't want to have to do another field goal. McCarthy with the snap, looking. He's got time, clean pocket. He throws a pass, and he's got it. And that's going to be Justin Jefferson with the completion down to the 5-yard line. And now the Vikings are knocking on the door to take a possible 3-point lead here based off of what happened. So here we go now. 1st and goal at the 5. McCarthy under center, I formation. Takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. And it's going to be a Vikings touchdown. And that's going to be, DeAndre Holmes. Looked like Aaron Jones for a second. I was about to say, wait a second. But no, that's DeAndre Holmes. So a rookie halfback that I guess I picked up. And the Vikings take a 13-10 lead over the Saints. All right, so after forcing the Saints to another 3-and-out punt, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 49-yard line after a pretty decent return by Rodgers. 2:23 to go. McCarthy's going to fake the handoff, throws it to Josh Oliver, who's going to be able to get his way forward for a gain of about 9.5. And it'll now be a 2nd and inches at the Saints' 42-yard line. And the Vikings are looking to extend their lead here, hopefully by 2 scores, but we'll see. That's going to be a handoff to Hill, who's going to get a 1st down. It's going to be a 1st and 10 now at the 39-yard line. This time McCarthy's going to come out under center. Can't tell if that's Hill or DeAndre Holmes back there, but there's going to be a throw, and it's going to be dropped, and that's Jordan Addison with the drop to bring up a 2nd and 10 now at the 39-yard line. McCarthy under center once again. And that's going to be DeAndre Holmes that's back there. There's going to be a flag on the play, so that completion to Jefferson is going to be for naught. It's going to be called back for holding. And it's going to be right tackle Brian O'Neill once again, so his age may be creeping up on him. That's a couple of holds now in this game for him. So it's now 2nd and 20 at the 49-yard line. We've been knocked out of field goal range. McCarthy with the snap in an empty backfield looking. He gets the throw off as he's hit, and that's DeAndre Holmes, who's able to get about 3 on the play to bring up a 3rd and 17 now at the 46. So McCarthy in shotgun. Looks like DeAndre Holmes is to his left. McCarthy, clean pocket. He has time. He's going to throw across the middle, and it's going to be caught by Justin Jefferson. But it won't be enough for a 1st down, but it does bring up a 4th and 1 at the 30. And they're going to go for a field goal. So this would be a 47-yard attempt from the right hash. He's 2 of 3 for today so far on field goals, real record. And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, pending this coming field goal, it's a 13-10 Vikings lead. And now, instead of a field goal, they're going to come out and go for it. 4th and 1 now at the 30. They must have liked what they saw when it came out on that field goal. McCarthy in shotgun, takes a snap, and he looked to scramble, and he has a receiver across the middle, and that's Justin Jefferson with a 1st down on 4th down. And it's 1st and 10 now at the 23. McCarthy in I formation. He's going to hand it off to Hill, who's going to make a move, shakes the defender. He's able to get through, and he's down to the 7-yard line. And that's down to the 15-yard line on a gain of 7. And it's now 2nd and 3. And this Vikings offense is humming for the most part this entire game. They've had some stops and some miscues, but been pretty successful going. That's Hill forcing his way forward. That's going to be a 4-yard run for another Vikings 1st down. So it's now 1st and 10 at the 12. Just over 13 minutes to go here in the game. They have a 3-point lead. Score here would be huge. We're going to hand it off to DeAndre Holmes, who could not force his way forward. And there's a fumble, and the Saints pick it up. An unfortunate set of circumstances. Let's look at that review. Jonas Sanker on the recovery. Let's see if they'll review it or not. And they will. There's going to be a booth review, so let's look and see if he was down or if this is an actual fumble. Because this would be a huge momentum change if this fumble stands. And let's see, he still has possession of the ball, it looks like. And it looks like he is down when the ball comes out, so that should be overturned. And it was. It was overturned, so it will be a loss of 1 on the play, but it will be a 2nd and 11 Vikings ball at the 13-yard line. McCarthy under center, offset I formation, hands it off to DeAndre Holmes. This time he rumbles forward for a gain of 2, but make sure you hold on to the ball, dude, even if you're on the ground. So here we go now, 3rd and 9 at the 11. McCarthy empty backfield. Going to send Holmes from the bottom of the screen to the top. He brings him in for pass protection. He's going to lob one up, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it was intended for Felton, incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So the Vikings are going to have to settle. This will be a 28-ish yard attempt right down the middle. Should be an easy chip shot for Reichert. The kick is up and good, and the Vikings take a 16-10 lead here in the 4th quarter at home over the Saints. All right, so McCarthy and his Vikings offense, after forcing a punt on the first sack of the game by Grenard, it's 16-10. Vikings lead. 10-20 to go here in this game. At the 18-yard line, McCarthy's going to throw a bullet, and it's going to fall incomplete. But that was right on the mark. That should have been caught. But here we are now, 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun. Takes the snap. He throws, and that's going to go to Ty Felton, who gets blown up after he gets the ball, but he holds on. It's a gain of 7 on the play to bring up a 3rd and 3 now at the 25. McCarthy in shotgun. He's got DeAndre Holmes to his left. McCarthy's going to scramble, and that's going to be a 1st down and more, and he's going to slide down at the 43-yard line, and that'd be another Vikings 1st down. And McCarthy's had a couple of key scrambles in this game. It's nice to see him using his legs to pick up some 1st downs, and Logic not being too crazy with it. I'm loving how these sliders and settings are playing. McCarthy on the play action ends up passing it out, and that's going to be to the fullback, Prentice, I believe, and that's going to be a 1st and 10 now at the Saints 46. And now any score here would be a 2-score game, so this is great to see. We could effectively put the nail in the coffin, essentially. That's going to be a pass out for a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11 now at the 47. McCarthy under center. Takes the snap. He's looking. He's got time. Clean pocket. He's going to scramble forward, and he's going to just slide down. Let's maintain possession. That's smart. I actually do like that AI call there. That was pretty good logic. Hold on to the ball. Don't take the sack, but slide down the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11. Empty backfield. Trips at the top of your screen. McCarthy gets the snap, gets the ball away. It's going to be to Justin Jefferson, and that's going to be down to the 41. And that'll be a 4th and 5. That's over 100 yards on the day for Justin Jefferson. And now they're going to line up. This will be a 58-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. Reichert missed a 54 earlier. Let's see. This kick is up, and this kick is good. And the Vikings take a 9-point 2-score lead off the long booted leg of Will Reichert. And let's just say I didn't have it because I wasn't paying on audio. I ran to the restroom real quick, but they almost had a kickoff return for a touchdown. They were finally dragged down at the 6. And now they're in for a touchdown. So now the Saints are coming out. 2:41 to go in the game. 1st and 10 at their own 31. They're down by 2. They have 1 timeout and a 2-minute warning remaining. Lynch, empty backfield. He's going to throw a deep shot. This pass is going. He's got a wide open receiver, and it's going to be Chris Olave in. And that's going to be a Saints lead with that touchdown. Unbelievable to let him get back there like that. And the Saints now take a 24-19 lead over the Vikings late in the 4th quarter. All right, so after that 69-yard bomb for a Saints lead, the Vikings are now trailed by 5. 1st and 10, 2:28 to go. Brothers going to get it to Jefferson. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Unbelievable. I think they want the Vikings to lose this game the way this is going, but that's going to force a 1st and 20 now on a hold by Christian Darrisaw. So Vikings still have the 2-minute warning and all 3 timeouts, and they're only down by 5, so a touchdown wins it, but they cannot settle for a field goal. McCarthy, quick throw. It's going to be caught. That's going to be a gain of 4 on the play to bring up a 2nd and 16, and that's the 2-minute warning, and it's Saints 24, Vikings 19. Now here we go. Just 3 timeouts in 2 minutes, and 78 yards separating us from victory or a loss. So here we go with McCarthy on a 2nd and 16. He's going to scramble out. He's going to scramble, and it's going to be a slide down at the 30. So it's going to be a gain of about 10. Vikings call a timeout, so it's now 3rd and 8 at the 30. And this This down's going to be huge. McCarthy in shotgun. He's got Holmes to his right, to his left, and the Saints send a blitz and they get to him. And that's the 6th sack of the game for this Saints defense, who's just disguising really well. And that's going to force a 4th and 14 for the Vikings. And it's all going to come down to this, because we're not going to be able to stop the clock either with only having 2 timeouts left. So we need a first down here. McCarthy throws it. He's got a receiver across the middle, and it's going to fall incomplete. That was intended for Jordan Addison. And that's a turnover on downs. And the Saints take over with a minute 18 to go. And with this kneel down, the Vikings' hopes are gone in their home opener. And it's a 24-19 loss to the New Orleans Saints due to a huge bomb to Chris Olave in the waning minutes of this game. All right, so the stats for the game: McCarthy's 31 of 42 for 309 yards and no touchdowns. Pat Litch, the rookie for the Saints, was 22 of 33 for 261 and 3 touchdowns on 66% completion. In the rushing game, Justice Hill had 11 rushes for 39 yards for the Vikings, and for Harris, 10 rushes for 76 yards for the Saints. Receiving, Justin Jefferson led the way for the Vikings, 11 receptions for 123 yards, and Chris Olave, 8 receptions for 144 yards, including a 69-yard game sealer for them to win the game. Blocking, there was plenty of sacks, so we'll just go to defense for the sacks. So the Vikings ended up having 1 sack. That was Jonathan Grenard. And then the Saints ended up having 2 sacks from Carl Granderson, a 3rd from Breesy, a 4th from Howden, a 5th from Alante Taylor, and a 6th from Chase Young throughout the game. So it's kind of how that game went. It just, we couldn't stop their defense. And, you know, we were pretty good for the most part, but we ended up not just not having enough at the end of the game. All right, so we do get some upgrades. J.J. McCarthy is going to get an upgrade. We're going to upgrade his strong arm, excuse me. That's going to be a +1 to awareness, deep throw accuracy, and medium throw accuracy. Asante Samuel Jr. is going to get an upgrade. We'll upgrade his man-to-man. Let's see what that gives him. It looks like that's going to be +2 for man coverage, +2 for play rec, and +1 for tackle. So that's a nice set of upgrades. And then our rookie punter, Tony McKenzie, we'll go ahead and upgrade his accuracy so we can get a little bit better on those pinning punts, hopefully. And that's going to be +1 to awareness and +1 to kick accuracy. And that's going to be it for the first game. We dropped it 24-19 to the Saints. It was a great job, I think, all around for the most part, though. I mean, our defense crumbled at the very end. But we always knew that our passing game was our weakest point. And they were able to take advantage of it. But for the most part, I think we played pretty solidly all around, especially for the first game, especially with quite a bit of rookies started in there. I feel like we looked a lot better than last season. But this season will tell. We'll see what happens. And I will see you now in week 2 against the Washington Commanders. All right, so now we're in Commanders week 2. And it looks like we have some rookie OTA storyline. So let's check that out. And it's going to be Nick Rutledge again. I think that's based off the preseason, so let's see what happens. So welcome to your home, Nick. We have big plans for you. We already seen this. I'm so excited to be here. Just can't wait to start this journey. We want to focus on your development. I mean, we need you to get up to speed quick too, but it's long-term that I'm focused on. That's the same thing as the preseason. I don't know why we're seeing that again. But let's go ahead and jump to weekly strategy. All right, so for this week, we're going to run Blitzbuster. Reason being is Washington tends to blitz heavily and unpredictably, and so hopefully this will help protect McCarthy and keep our play action going. We're going to run outside the club. Reason being is Washington's much better versus inside zone than outside zone, so hopefully this will reduce block sheds on those outside runs and help us create wider lanes and then force the linebackers to over pursue, which is a direct counter to what I normally see, at least in real life. And from what I've seen in Madden as their defensive strength. Next is going to be Riot Shield. Reason is obviously the +7 awareness and +7 pass block power for all O-line is mandatory due to the elite line that Washington has on their D-line. And then, of course, we've got Stamina Stealer. Again, that makes it so all D linemen and linebackers take a fatigue hit every 4+ yard rush. And we had quite a few of those, and I think we have a good enough line to make that happen with the running backs we have. Next is going to be Trench Barons, and obviously that's because Washington's linebackers shed quickly and aggressively. So hopefully this will help strengthen some of those double teams we send out. and help those combo blocks climb to that next level with the linebackers. So therefore, hopefully our zone run game will become a little bit more consistent. And because it wasn't very consistent last game, and we need to see it. I do want to see us get closer to that, 50, 60-yard rush mark for our starter. I mean, we did lose Mason. We'll see if we have him for this game or not. And then finally, our last ability will be Play Fake Magician. And that's because Washington does tend to bite hard on play action when you have a run game that's working. So this will help punish their aggressive safeties. And this is how we should be able to hit explosives with the shots play sheet that we're going to be running. And we're running that because it will give deep crossers that will destroy the coverages that they have. And then, of course, it mixes in some play action bombs, which if their safeties get aggressive, which they typically do, that should punish them greatly. And then obviously the +3 to pass block will help against their defensive line. And now this time we're going to run Masters of Disguise. Reason being is that's just going to help with some more of that late rotations, hybrid fronts, bring some more simulated pressure, hopefully some creeper blitzes, and hopefully give some post-snap confusion to that AI logic that will force Daniels to hold on to the ball, throw from inside the pocket rather than scrambling out, where he's a lot more dangerous. And hopefully he's doing it on late reads, and when he does scramble, he scrambles into the pressure and goes down for sacks. So I'm hoping that's the best setup we can do for this game. And then, of course, for trainer abilities, we're doing off-field rejuvenation just to help our roster continue to stay fresh, and same with impact guard. Mainly because the D-line does hit hard on Washington's side, so we need to keep our O-line fresh. So that's what we're running with this game. Let's go ahead and confirm this loadout. Let's go ahead and check to see about any restings or stuff for this game. Jordan Mason, we're going to half pad him. Let's see if anybody else has any issues. None for defense. Let's see if we need any restings here. We do. Jonathan Albertson, we're going to half pad. And that is it. So just the two. And let's see if we have anybody out. All right. So on offense, we do lose our second string left tackle, our rookie Al Reinhardt. He is out due to a right high ankle sprain. And then on defense, we've lost a Will linebacker, one of our backups, Kobe King, due to a dislocated left wrist. So not down really any major starters, but if Darisaw goes down, that's going to be spelling trouble because our rookie, what could be a star left tackle that has hidden dev and everything, is not playing. So we'll see how that works out for us. We do have a couple of upgrades, so let's go ahead and see who we have to upgrade from this week. We have Corbin Darby, defensive tackle. We're going to upgrade his nose tackle, and hopefully we see some block shedding come out of this. And let's see, +1 to block shedding, +1 to pursuit, and +2 to tackle, so that's good to have. And then Max Hampton, another D tackle we signed, will upgrade his nose tackle, another rookie. And that's going to give him, hopefully, same thing, block shed. No, we do get +2 to awareness, +2 to hit power, and +3 to tackle. So that's not too bad. I wish I would have seen some block shedding. But that's it for here. So I will see you guys in the game against the Commanders. All right, so after forcing the Commanders to punt on their first series of the game, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings now at the 35-yard line. McCarthy under center. We got Mason back. That's going to be a pass to TJ Hawkinson over the middle for a gain of 5. So it's 2nd and 5 now at the 40. McCarthy's going to be under center again. Mason in the backfield. With the snap. Makes a handoff to Mason. Rolls out. He's going to throw it to Hawkinson, who's going to get a loss of 1, I'd say, on the play. So that's bringing us a 3rd and 6 now at the 40. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun again. He's got Mason to his left. Takes the snap. Looking to pass. Clean pocket. Gets the throw off. It's going to be to Justin Jefferson, who's got a first down and more. And that's going to be 20 yards on the first connection to Justin Jefferson this game. And it's going to be 1st and 10 now at the 40. Offset I formation with Prentice and Mason. It's going to be a handoff to Mason, who's going to rumble his way down for a gain of about 7. Very patient running there. And that's going to be a 2nd and 3 now at the 33-yard line. And this offense is coming out humming in this game. I guess they're a little upset from how the last game ended. So we're going to see McCarthy fakes the handoff. He's going to throw it to Prentice, who's going to lean forward but not get quite enough. It's going to be a 3rd and inches at the 30 now. We're likely going to see a QB sneak from McCarthy here. So let's see what happens. I formation. McCarthy with the snap. Sneaks forward. It's going to be a gain of 1, maybe 2. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 now for the Vikings at the 29-yard line. So a fresh set of downs. McCarthy under center. Mason in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Mason, who makes a cut and ends up getting just a gain of 1. So 2nd and 9 now at the 28-yard line. They got to come out offset I formation in this one. Got Mason, fakes the handoff, play action. He throws it, and he's got a wide open Jordan Addison. That's going to be a gain of 12 down to the 17-yard line. And that's the 3rd first down on this drive so far. And the Vikings are in the red zone now, 1st and 10 at the 17. McCarthy in shotgun, Mason to his right. Takes the snap, hands it off to not Mason, that's Hill, who's got to rumble his way forward. He finally gets brought down on the 2nd effort there by the defense after a gain of 9 to bring up a 2nd and 1. Now Mason's back in there. So 2nd and 1 at the 9. McCarthy in shotgun. Mason's to McCarthy's left. He takes a snap, throws it. He throws it over the middle and is almost intercepted. Luckily, that was dropped. That was a horrible throw there. I don't know if there was a disconnect between him and Hawkinson, but now on a 3rd and 1 at the 9, they're going to come out in I formation. He's going to fake the handoff, and that's going to be a sack. Christian Wilkins just comes flying in there and forces a 5-yard sack to bring up a 4th and 6. And the Vikings will settle for a 30-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. Reichert's 3 of 4 on field goals so far. He's only missed 50+, and that is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead here in Washington. All right, so after allowing the Vikings to get a field goal on their first drive of the game, the Commanders take over after punting on their first one. 1st and 10 at their own 22, 7:23 to go in his first quarter. Sends a man in motion, hands it off to Algier, who breaks the first tackle but could not get past the second. That'll be a gain of 2 on the play. Last game, he had 20 rushes for 88 yards and a touchdown. This game, he's not getting very much, hopefully. So here we are now, 2nd and 8 after that gain of 2. Empty backfield for Daniels. They got 4 wide at the top of your screen. Takes a snap, and Daniels is going to scramble for himself up the middle. That's going to be a scramble of 11 yards. And that's 16 yards on the game so far now on 3 scrambles by Daniels. It's 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Daniels under center with Algier in the backfield. Trip tight end bunch there on the bottom of your screen. Send a man in motion. They hand it off to Algier, who runs and then fumbles, and it's recovered by the lineman, who is at Cosme. And it's going to be a 4-yard gain now, so it'll be 2nd and 6 at the 39. But it's nice to see them forcing a fumble on Algier, so we may need to keep an eye on that this game. Daniels, quick throw out to Algier, who's met by Murphy and brought down. A gain of a couple to bring up a 3rd and 2 at the 43-yard line. It's just Daniels in the back. Looks like Robinson's in replacement of Algier. Daniels with the snap. He's going to scramble up the middle. That's a first down, and he's got a huge scramble up the middle, and we're not running a QB contain play sheet. So this could be dangerous, this game, with the Daniels scramblability here. But that's a first down to the 35-yard line, so now it's 1st and 10. Daniels in shotgun. Algier's back into his left. Takes a snap. He hands it off to Algier, who breaks the first tackle but could not get through the second one, and that's going to be a gain of 3 on the play, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 now at the 32-yard line. Going to be a 2-back set here. Daniels going to turn around, hand it to Algier, who is met by Dallas Turner in the backfield, and that's going to be a tackle for a loss, and it'll be a 3rd and 8 now at the 33-yard line. Dallas Turner read that perfectly, was able to shed through that block and put a stop to that run. Daniels now in an empty backfield. Takes a snap. He's got time, but Rutledge comes in, and Rutledge hits him as he goes. There will be a flag on the play. Let's see what happens here. It's going to be a holding call. And is that on the right tackle? It was, and he still couldn't stop Rutledge, who came flying in there. So that's going to force a 50-yard field goal attempt from the left hash for Washington. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. And we have a tied 3-3 game here in the first quarter in Washington. All right, so after forcing a Vikings punt, it's Commanders' ball again. It's still tied 3-3. 1st and 10 at their own 27. 14:47 to go here in the second quarter. Daniels in shotgun, takes that, fakes the handoff to Robinson. He's going to scramble up the middle. That's going to be a gain of 10, of 15, just a little bit, about 17 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 now at the 44. We are not running QB contain sheet, which I would normally do against the scrambling quarterback. So he very well may hit 100 yards scrambling, but it's because of how I'm doing my setup on coaching abilities. There's a way to shut that down, but you have to make sure you run certain things against scramblers, and I did not because I wanted to shut down some other areas of their game and take a risk with Jaden scrambling. So here we go after that 7-yard gain. It's 2nd and 3 now at the 49. He's going to hand it off to Algier, who's able to get enough. That's a gain of about 5, and they bring up a 1st and 10 now at the 44-yard line of the Vikings. Daniels in shotgun. He's got Algier to his right. takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Algier, and the pass is batted away. It looked like that might have been Blake Cashman on the bat. So it's now 2nd and 10 on that incomplete pass. They're at the 44-yard line. Daniels in shotgun. He's got Robinson in now to his right. Takes a snap. Quick pass out, and it's going to be caught, and that's going to be a first down. And it took Wingard to come in to level him. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 now at the 34-yard line after a gain of, about 11. So 1st and 10 now at the 34. They hand it off to Algier, who tries to run up the middle, and he runs right into the waiting hands of Jonathan Allen. And that's going to be a gain of nothings to bring up a 2nd and 10 now. I hope this Vikings defense can hold to another field goal attempt here or force a turnover. Jaden with empty backfield takes a snap, clean pocket. He's got to scramble, and he's got time, and he's got to slide before Rutledge could get to him. That was Rutledge or Wingard. I couldn't see who that was, but it's a gain of 8, so it's 3rd and 2 now at the 26. And Turner's trying to get his way in. He's got an open lane. He's got to scramble once again, and he's going to go down at the 16, and it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Commanders inside the red zone. And maybe I should have set it up to try to have a QB spy in there, but that's a mistake that hopefully we don't pay for too much. He's going to do a keeper, and this time Cashman's coming up to see, and that's going to be a 2-yard loss on the play. So it'll be a 2nd and 12 now at the 18. Daniels in shotgun, takes a snap. Robinson's in there. He throws it out, and as soon as it gets there, it's caught. He holds on, but he's going to go down, and it's 3rd and 10 now at the 16. No gain on the play. Daniels is going to shift Robinson out. Empty backfield now. Tight trip bunch there at the bottom of your screen. Daniels with time. And he's going to scramble, and he's got he's going to go down, and it's a fumble on the scramble, and it's recovered by the Vikings. What a job by the defense. Who calls that fumble? We need to see that. Nate Rutledge recovered it. Our rookie making himself felt there with the fumble recovery, but who calls that fumble? That's what I want to see. So we're going to watch the replay here. He went in, and it looks like it was the hit right there. So it looks like Byron Murphy might have caused that. And Darby fell over trying to get in. Luckily, Rutledge captured it. And that's what happens with scramblers. They scramble a lot. They can get some yardage, but they are turnover prone. So now it's Vikings ball, 1st and 10 at the 1. And we need to get some room. So we hand it off to Mason, who's able to make it out, and he's able to get a gain of about 5. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 at the 6 now. Let's see if the Vikings go 99 yards for a score. McCarthy in shotgun, Mason in the backfield. McCarthy takes a snap. Quick throw across the middle. That's to Justin Jefferson. That's going to be a gain of about, 9. It's going to be a 1st and 10 now at the 15-yard line, so they have some breathing room. McCarthy under center. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff to Mason. Great block there by O'Neal. He gets it to Addison. That's going to be a gain of 9 on the play to bring up a 2nd and 1 now at the 25. McCarthy's once again going to go under center. He's got Mason in the backfield. Takes the snap. This is going to be a handoff to Mason, who runs up the middle, and he's able to get a couple. That's going to be a gain of maybe 2, and that's going to be another first down for the Vikings. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 26. 6:46 to go here in this first half. Still a tied 3-3 ball game. Got to hand it off to Mason, who makes a cutback, and there's an injury on the play, and that's going to be Donovan Jackson, our starting left guard. So that's not something we're going to be very happy to see. So now we're going to have our backup in there. So it's 2nd and 8 now after that gain of 2. McCarthy in shotgun. Hill's in now. McCarthy is going to get sacked. And they went right through Will Fries. That's the 3rd sack of the game for the Commanders. And that's Payne in there for, I believe, his 1st sack of the game. And that's going to force a 3rd and 16 now at the 21-yard line. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun this time. Mason's in there again. McCarthy, great pancake there. He's got time. He's got to scramble around. He's got to scramble forward. Is he going to make it? And he does, and he's able to get to the first down marker and a little bit more. So it's going to be a gain of about 18 on the play, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Vikings now at the 38-yard line. Great job by McCarthy with that awareness to get that first down. I formation now. Makes the handoff. Look at a pass. He's got a clean pocket, plenty of time, and he throws in. It's a diving catch by Justin Jefferson, his 4th catch of the game. And that's going to be another Vikings first down as they just get over midfield. So 1st and 10 now at the 48-yard line of the Commanders. McCarthy's going to fake the handoff. He's going to keep himself and run, and he's got nothing but daylight. And he's going to go all the way down to the 7-yard line. Jimmy Ward with a touchdown-saving tackle. And what a play for the Vikings. I was not expecting that, and what a setup. And that's a 40-yard run by McCarthy to set up a first and goal at the 7-yard line. And the Vikings are now knocking on the door. I formation, McCarthy under center. The handoff to Mason, who's going to follow his blocker. He gets a gain of 1 on the play. And looks like there's an injury to Ward. So the one that made the touchdown-saving tackle is now injured. Looks like he might just be cramping, though. So second and goal now at the 6. Empty backfield for McCarthy. They got 4 wide at the top of your screen. McCarthy is going to move around. He's got a receiver. He just throws it out of bounds. Looked like he was attempting to scramble, but he ends up just throwing it out of bounds. So he saw that lane was blocked off. So great decision-making there by McCarthy. Third and goal at the 6. They send blitzers. He gets the pass off, and that's a Vikings touchdown. And that's Josh Oliver, our tight end 2, to take a 10-3 lead over the Commanders. All right, so after some back-to-back punts since the Vikings touchdown pass, it's now 1st and 10 for the Commanders. Minute 50 to go in the second quarter. They have 2 timeouts remaining. They're down by 7. It's 1st and 10 at their own 31. Daniels with the snap, throws it, and it's going to be intercepted. And he's going to be able to return it. Blake Cashman down to the 6-yard line. It looked like he might be able to go all the way, but he was finally tackled. And what a job by this Vikings defense. Blake Cashman read that completely. I couldn't see who it was at first. That's why I paused for a second. But here we go now. And with the second turnover now by Daniels, he had that one fumble, and now with an interception, McCarthy takes over. 1st and goal at the 6. A quick pass, and that's going to be Justin Jefferson, who's in for his first touchdown of this season, I believe. And the Vikings take a 17-3 lead here over the Commanders. All right, so Jaden Daniels comes out now. That's 2 turnovers on back-to-back, almost back-to-back drives, but Vikings now have a 17-3 lead. 1st and 10. Daniels is going to scramble, and he's going to slide down this time after a gain of 3. I guess he does not want to take any more hits, so it's now 2nd and 7 at the 27. Daniels in shotgun. Takes a snap. He's got Robinson in there now, not Algier. It's going to be a pass out to the sideline. It's going to be complete. That's to Hankins, I believe. It's going to be just short of the first down marker, so it's 3rd and inches now at the 34. Got Daniels in shotgun. It looks like it's Robinson to his left. They go in a tight trip bunch. He's going to send Robinson in motion, who comes right back. Sends another receiver that looks like Deebo Samuel in motion. He ends up going behind him, and Daniels takes a snap, quick rush, and it's going to be caught, and there's nothing but green in front of him, and the defense is not going to be able to catch him, and that's going to be a Commanders touchdown. And with that, let's see who that was, and that's tight end rookie Juan Hankins to bring the game back to 7, 17-10. So after a horrible punt by our rookie, it's 1st and 10 for the Commanders at the 30-yard line. They have 2 timeouts left, down by 7. 1st and 10 at the 30. Daniels with it, throws it out. It's got to be caught by Algier, and it's going to be a gain of 8. Washington's going to call a timeout. So now it's 2nd and 2 at the 38-yard line. 24 seconds to go, 1 timeout. Empty backfield. Got 3 wide at the top of your screen. Daniels, quick pass out. And this one's going to be brought down by Cashman at the 46 out of bounds. So 1st and 10. Clock stops at 19. Empty backfield. They got 3 to the bottom of your screen this time. Daniels calling out adjustments at the line, takes the snap. We're only sending 3. Daniels moving around, quick pass, and he's able to spin off Cashman, but ends up getting brought down. Commanders have to call their second timeout. Now they have no timeouts left, 14 seconds, 2nd and 4 at the Vikings 40, so they are technically in long-range field goal range. And he's going to go down, and Allen is able to get a sack by tripping up Daniels, who looked like he was going to go forward for a scramble maybe. And they're going to spike the ball with 4 seconds remaining. And they're going to have to kick a very long 60-yard field goal attempt from the right hash. So the kick is up, and the kick is no good. So at halftime, it's the Vikings 17 and the Commanders 10. But, man, that was great to see a 60-yard field goal attempt here in Madden. All right, so the Commanders come out. The Vikings had to punt after their first series of the second half due to Addison dropping 2 catches. And it's now 1st and 10 for the Commanders at their own 26. Vikings still have a 7-point lead. Quick pass after the snap to Deebo, who gets met by Murphy, and that's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. So it's now 2nd and 7 at the 29-yard line. Daniels going to be under center with Tyler Algier in the backfield. With the snap, he fakes the handoff. It's now going to be thrown to Algier with a blocker, but he ends up getting tackled by Rutledge and Isaiah Rodgers. And now there's an injury on the field for Cosme, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for this Commanders offense now. Daniels is going to be in shotgun. Tyler Algier is going to be to his left. Takes the snap. We only send 4, and he's going to scramble forward. That's going to be a first down, and he's going to get leveled by Wingard there. That's over 100 yards scrambling now for Daniels, which is completely realistic in this case. We do not have a QB spy or a play sheet designed for QB attainment. So he is going to run wild because he's a scrambler, but we're able to shut down some other important parts of their game, which is working out very well for us so far. So that's going to be a 2-yard loss on that attempt, and it's now 2nd and 12 at the 45-yard line. Daniels is going to call out adjustments at the line. He's in shotgun with Algier to his left. Gets a pass off, and it's almost picked off. It's going to fall incomplete. But that, who is that? That's one of our signings. I don't know who number 30 is off the top of my head. But it's now 3rd and 12 after that incompletion. They're at the 45-yard line. Daniels in empty backfield, takes the snap. He's got time. Gets the throw off, and it's going to be caught, and he's going to spin right into a trio tackle there. It's going to be a first down, though, all the way down to the 36-yard line. So 1st and 10 now for the Commanders. Daniels is going to be in shotgun. He's got Robinson to his left. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Robinson, who gets met, and that's going to be Blake Cashman on the stop. It's going to be 1 yard on the play, and it's now 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line. Daniels is in shotgun. Oh, this looks like more like a pistol set almost. Quick throw out, and he somehow holds on through contact. It's going to be a gain of 3 on the play, and it's now 3rd and 6 at the 31-yard line. Empty backfield. They're going 4 wide at the top of your screen. Daniels with time. He's going to lob one deep. Murphy on coverage, and he's going to knock it out incomplete. Pass intended for Debo, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. So great defense there by Murphy Jr. This is going to be a 48-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick is up, and the kick is good to make it a 4-point 17-13 Vikings lead. All right, so here's McCarthy. He's got 2 touchdown passes this game so far. 17-13 lead, 9:27 to go in the third. 1st and 10 at their own 28. This one's going to be a handoff to Mason, who's able to make it to the edge. He's going to get a gain of about 4 to bring up a 2nd and 6 now at the 32-yard line. Going to come out in I formation. McCarthy obviously under center. And they're going to draw a man off sides, or are they going to call Darasol on a false start there? They don't. It is going to be an encroachment. Let's see who is responsible for that one. That didn't look like Jerome Payne, but it might have been. You know, that was Christian Wilkins this time. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 1 now at the 37-yard line. McCarthy's been doing very well. That's 2 times they've drawn the defense off sides. McCarthy under center with Mason in the backfield. Sends Addison in motion from bottom of your screen to the top. This one's going to be a handoff to Mason, who almost threw the first defender, who's able to bring him down, though, and it's going to be a gain of nothing. And that brings up a 3rd and 1 now at the 37-yard line. McCarthy's going to be under center now. Mason in the backfield. Going to send Jefferson in motion. He fakes a jet sweep, hands it off to Mason, who rumbles his way forward, and he's able to get a gain of about 6 on the play down to the 42-yard line. And that's a Vikings first down now. So first time at the 42, 7:27 to go here in this third quarter. Empty backfield. McCarthy takes it, and he's going to scramble himself, and he's going to slide down just short of the first down marker. It's 2nd and 1 now at the Commanders' 49-yard line. We are now past midfield. Offset I formation. McCarthy under center with Mason in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Mason, who makes the first tackle miss, blows through the second one, and tries to stiff arm the third. Could not, but he ends up getting a gain of about 6, maybe 7 on the play. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 43, and Mason is playing a physical game of ball today. And this one right up the middle, an opening, and that's going to be a gain of about 13. Looks like our backup left guard is now injured. This is not good. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 30, and it looks like Donovan Jackson's back in, so I guess you didn't have a choice but to bring him in. Carter's going to hand it off, and this one's to Hill, who hurdles over a fallen defender for a gain of 1. It's now 2nd and 9 at the 30. Hill still in there, giving Mason a breather. McCarthy under center with the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls almost into a sack, but he ends up getting it away to Jefferson. It's going to be knocked away incomplete, and it's now 3rd and 9. That rollout could have been disaster. That might have been a sack fumble had he not rolled perfectly on that. But now he's going to lob one deep on 3rd and 9. This one's going, and it's going to be incomplete, too far for Addison. And that's going to bring up a Vikings field goal attempt. So this one's going to be a 47-yard attempt, almost directly down the middle for Will Reichert. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Vikings retake a 7-point lead, 20-13 over the Commanders. All right, so after that field goal to give them a 7-point lead once again, it's 20-13 Vikings. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Commanders. 5:18 to go here in this third quarter. Daniels waiting. He's got time, gets the throw off, and it's going to be caught. He sheds the first tackler, and that's Isaiah Rodgers that could not make a tackle. Luckily, Cashman came through to save the tackle, or save that. It could have been a touchdown, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And we're definitely going to be looking for some corners. I mean, I like Rodgers, but he needs to be able to tackle in that open field. And Daniels has room. He's going to scramble up the middle. He's going to slide down before Rodgers gets there. That's going to be a gain of 6 to bring up a 2nd and 4 now at the 48-yard line. Daniels is going to be in shotgun. Algier to his right and slightly behind him. With the snap, hands it off to Algier, who gets met. He is able to rumble his way forward for a gain of about 5, though, so that's going to be a Commanders first down. 1st and 10 at the Vikings 48-yard line now. Daniels once again in shotgun. Got Algier in the backfield. He's going to send Deebo Samuel in motion. With the snap, hands it off to Algier, who runs right into a couple of tacklers. Cashman finishes it off. It's going to be a gain of 2 to bring up a 2nd and 8 now at the 47-yard line. Vikings defense has been doing pretty solid this game, and that's going to be a tackle for a loss of 1. Great job by Allen to shed that tackle or blocker and get in there. Now it's a 3rd and 9 with a 2-back set at the 47-yard line. Daniels in shotgun with it, takes a snap, clean pocket, and he's got to scramble in. He's going to run forward, and he's going to get met by Cashman and fall short, and that's going to force a 4th down. What did they decide to do? And they're going to go for it on 4th and 2 at the 40. Could be a really bad idea for them. This could be a complete momentum changer if the Vikings are able to get a stop here. They already have the lead, so they're going to shift a man in motion. They're going to hand it off to Algier, who gets blasted by Nick Rutledge, our rookie Will. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. And the Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Great field position. And this could be the drive that seals this game for them. They're going to hand it off to Mason, who forces his way forward. He finally gets about 1 on the play. It's now 2nd and 9 at the 44. McCarthy in shotgun. He's got Justice Hill to his left. Takes the snap, clean pocket, gets the throw to a wide open Justin Jefferson. That's going to be a gain of 7 on the play. And now it's a 3rd and 2 at the Commanders' 49-yard line. We're just past midfield. McCarthy empty backfield, going 3 wide at the top of your screen. McCarthy with time. And he's going to scramble forward. He had a blocker, and he's going to slide down at the 37-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 11 and another Vikings first down. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. So at the beginning of the 4th, it's still a 20-13 Vikings lead, and the Vikings have the ball and are knocking on the door in the red zone. And I said in the red zone, I meant of the red zone. They're at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. McCarthy in shotgun. Mason to his right. Quick pass out. That's going to go to Addison, who spins, moves his way up, and that's going to be a gain of 16 yards. And Addison finally catches one. And it's going to be 1st and 10 now at the 21. McCarthy in shotgun with Mason behind him. Takes the snap, hands it off to Mason, who has a great hole opening there by Hawkinson and Jackson, it looked like, who came on a pull. And it's now 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard run. At the 17-yard line, McCarthy under center, a tight trip bunch there at the tight end side. McCarthy rolls out. He throws it to Jefferson, who's going to get a first down on the 9-yard line. That's a gain of 6, and it's now 1st and goal for our Vikings. Now McCarthy's going to be under center. Got Bartholomew and Oliver out there, but it's not going to matter because the Commanders get to him. That's Kwity Paye for his 3rd sack of the game, to bring up a 2nd and goal now at the 17, so that's a loss of 8 on that sack. McCarthy in shotgun, got Hill to his left, trips at the top of your screen. McCarthy, quick throw out to Hawkinson, who's wide open but couldn't pull it and go horizontally, and ends up getting a 3rd and goal at the 15 now. McCarthy in shotgun. He's got Mason back in. McCarthy with time, but it's closing, and they're able to get to him, and that's a double team sack there. And it looks like who's that? Sinner still gets it, and it's got to be a Vikings field goal attempt. But it's still good news. I mean, this is a 38-yard attempt from the left hash. It should be easily makeable kick by Reichard. And this should be a 10-point lead for the Vikings. And the kick is up and good. And it is a 23-13 lead for our Vikings. All right, so after that field goal to make it a 2-score game, it's 1st and 10 for the Commanders. 11:18 to go in the game. They're at their own 27-yard line. 3 wide at the top of your screen. Daniels, quick throw out, and it's going to be caught and out of bounds as soon as it's caught, so it'll be a gain of 3. Brings up a 2nd and 7 now at the 30. It's going to come out in a pistol-type shotgun set. He's got Algier behind him with the snap. Algier swings out. Daniels is going to throw on the run, and it's going to go out of bounds, incomplete. And it's now a 3rd and 7 at the 30. Daniels in an empty backfield this time. Called out some adjustments at the line. Waiting for the snap. Snap's there. Daniels has it. He's waiting. Clean pocket. Gets the throw out. It's going to be caught. And that's going to be a Commander's 1st down. And who's that? Is that Hankins again? No, that's McLaurin. I forgot he was still with Washington. I thought I read in preseason that he was somewhere else, but guess not. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Daniels takes the snap. Gets a throw off, and that's going to be caught, and it's going to be a gain of 6. And now it's 2nd and 4 at the 47-yard line. So Daniels in shotgun. He's got Robinson to his left. Takes a snap. High snap, but he's able to keep it in. Sends it to Robinson, who gets blasted by Rutledge. And that's going to be a 1st down, though. So it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. But Rutledge spun him around like a little toy on that hit. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 49. They're going to fake the handoff to Algier. He keeps it, and he's going to get met for a tackle for a loss. So that'll be a 2nd and 11 now. He takes the snap. Gets it dished off, and it's going to be tackled, and it's going to be a gain of a couple on the play to bring up 3rd and 3. So that's a gain of 8. So it's now 3rd and 3 at the 42-yard line. Daniels in shotgun, takes the snap. He's got time, clean pocket, gets the throw off, and he overthrows it, and it's going to be a 4th down. So are they going to punt it or attempt a long field goal? And they're going to go for it on a 4th and 3. They're at the 42. They already had a turnover on downs last time. So if this one fails, the momentum is completely gone from the home team. So we'll see what happens. They send Debo in motion. They got it. They've got time. Clean pocket. They get the throw off, and it's going to be caught this time. He's able to hold on through contact, and that's a fresh set of downs and a 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 at the 35 for the Commanders. Jade Daniels in shotgun. You got Robinson to his right. He takes a snap. He's looking, and he gets the ball off, and it's going to be knocked away incomplete. Great job there on defense by Asante Samuel there to knock it away. So 2nd and 10 now at the 35-yard line. Daniels in empty backfield. You got 3 receivers at the top of your screen. One stays in to block, and Jonathan Allen's going to come through with a sack at when we needed it the most. And Jonathan Allen forces a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 16, and now they're even on the tail end of field goal range. Daniels with the snap. He's got time. A pancake there. And it's going to be caught, but it's going to be, and they're going to call it a catch at the 18-yard line. And I guess he got in. There's not going to be a challenge here. So 1st and 10 at the 18, a 2-back set here. Daniels with the snap. We send a blitzer in. It's picked up, and it's not going to be able to stop him. And that's Darby, our rookie, gets in for the 3rd sack of the Vikings. And it's going to be a 2nd and 16 now at the 24-yard line. Now Daniels is in shotgun. He's got Algier to his right, takes the snap. He's got time, but that pocket's closing quick. And there's Cashman on the run. Cashman gets him, and it's hit on the throw. It goes out of bounds, incomplete. And it's going to be a 3rd and 16. And this defense is just all over Jade Daniels on this series right here. So here we go now on this 3rd and 16 at the 24. They would be forced to do a field goal at this point. We only send the 4. There's a pancake there, but Van Ginkel gets up. They're able to get it to Debo, and it's going to be down at the 16, and that'll be a 4th and 8. And they're going to settle for a 33-ish yard field goal from the right hash to bring the game down to a 1-score game. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Vikings now have a 7-point, 23-16 lead over the Commanders. All right, so after that field goal, it brings it to a 7-point game. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Now McCarthy under center at their own 24 takes it. It's batted away, and this is a big series for this Commanders defense. They're down by 7, and there's only 4:11 left to go in this game. So McCarthy offset I formation under center, drops back to pass. Quick throw out to Hawkinson, who's able to make a few defenders miss, and he's racing down the sideline. And they're finally going to bring him down at the 49-yard line. That's a 25-yard gain and a 1st and 10 at the Commanders' 49-yard line. That is not what the Commanders fans wanted to see. Quick pass out to Addison, and he's going to get about 9.5. And it's going to be 2nd and inches now at the 39-yard line. And the Vikings are looking to put the nail in the coffin with this drive. Less than 3 minutes to go now. 2nd inches. They send, who's that? Felton in motion. Hand off to Mason. He's going to spin off a tackle. And he's going to get about 2 yards on the carry. But that is going to bring up a 1st and 10. Commanders called their first timeout. So now McCarthy under center. Mason in the backfield. Takes a snap, hands it off to Mason, who has a hole, and it's a 1st down and more, and he's going to rumble his way down to the 24, a 12-yard gain. The Commanders have to call their 2nd timeout, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 24. And this offense just can't be stopped this drive. They're going to send Jefferson in motion. McCarthy under center, takes a snap, he hands it off to Mason again, who has a hole up the left side, and he's going to be all the way down to the 8-yard line, about 16 yards on that run. And it's going to be the final timeout for the Commanders. But it's now a 1st and goal for the Vikings at the 8-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun with Mason to his right. Mason should be closing in on 100 yards. It's going to be handed off to Mason, who gets stopped this time. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. So it's now 2nd and goal at the 9. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun again. Mason to his left. And that's going to be the 2-minute warning. So with 2 minutes to go, Vikings have a 7-point lead, and they're knocking on the door with a 2nd and goal at the 9. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun, Mason to his right. He sends Jefferson in motion. Gets a snap, hands it off to Mason, who's going to run wide but could not get to the edge. It's going to be a loss of 3, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. And the Commanders have no timeouts left, so there's nothing they can do. And we're just running out the clock. 3rd and goal now at the 12. McCarthy in shotgun. Mason to his right. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Mason, who runs up the middle. That's going to be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th and goal now. They're going to run out it, and this is going to be a 25-yard field goal from the left hash. And this field goal will put the nail in the coffin in this game. The kick is up, and it is good. And the Vikings have a 10-point lead, 26-16, over the Commanders in the waning seconds of this 4th quarter. Okay, so the Commanders come out. They have very slim chance. They need a quick touchdown. They have no timeouts. They need a touchdown, an onside kick, and a recovery, and then a field goal to tie the game. But here we go. Daniels trying in shotgun. He's got time, and he has to throw it out of bounds as our defense was getting to him. It's now 2nd and 10. 26 seconds to go. Empty backfield. 3 wide at the top of your screen. Daniels in shotgun with the snap. We're only sending 3. We're playing a deep, everybody deep, and Darby almost gets to him, so he has to throw it out of bounds again. And it's now 3rd and 10 with 19 seconds to go. So here's Daniels in shotgun once again. Empty backfield with the snap. We're only sending 3. Everybody's dropped in coverage, and Darby almost gets to him again, and he has to throw it out of bounds 3 straight plays. And it's now 4th and 10. And all their hopes rest on this, however slim they are right now. 4th and 10, 13 seconds, last play possibly. He gets the throw off, and it's going to be intercepted by Isaiah Rodgers, who breaks the tackle, falls out of bounds at the 44, and the Vikings will end the game with the kneel down after the interception, and the Vikings will go on to win 26-16 on the road against the Commanders. And what a game by this Vikings team. So we move to 1-1. Let's go ahead and look at the stats for this game. So for the QBs, Jaden Daniels was 23 of 40 for 258 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. McCarthy was 21 of 31 for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. In rushing, Jaden Daniels led the way with all of his scrambles, 15 carries, 111 yards, and a fumble. Their leading rusher as far as running backs was Tyler Algier, 11 carries for 15 yards and a fumble. We had the running game on lock other than the scrambles. And Jordan Mason on our side, 23 carries for 94 yards. We almost had a 100-yard rusher. McCarthy added 7 scrambles for 82 yards. Receiving, Justin Jefferson had 9 receptions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Juan Hankins, their rookie, was their leading receiver for 5 receptions for 109 yards and a touchdown. And then on defense, let's see what we had. The Commanders had a total of, 3 sacks by Kwity Paye, a sack and a half for Deron Payne, a sack by Christian Wilkins, and a half sack by Mike Sanristil. 2-year vet there. So that's what, 3, 4, 5, 6 sacks by the Commanders. And the Vikings had 3 sacks, 2 by Jonathan Allen and 1 by a rookie, Corbin Darby. And let's see, tackles for a loss, Nick Rutledge. Pretty good for his rookie. 2 solo tackles, 1 assist, 3 total with a tackle for a loss when it mattered. So it's nice to see that happen, but looking very well. And let's go ahead and see if we have any upgrades after this game. And with that, that's the end of game 2. We are now 1-1, and I will see you guys in week 3 against the Titans. All right, so we are in Titans week 3 now, and let's go ahead and view weekly awards. It looks like Blake Cashman got NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 12 tackles, an interception, and a forced fumble. We'll go ahead and look at the rest. So Tyler Huntley was 21 of 28 for 337 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, was sacked 3 times, and had 2 carries for 3 rushing yards for the Rams. Drake May, the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, 19 of 25 for 314 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 sacks, and then 4 carries for 7 yards. And then AFC Defensive Player of the Week was Patrick Queen, Mike as well, with 13 tackles and 2 sacks. From week 1, it was Jordan Love at 19 for 26 for 222 and 3 touchdowns, was sacked once and had 4 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. Then you had Dexter Sr., D tackle, as the NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 7 tackles and 2 sacks. And then the AFC side, you had QB Trevor Lawrence, 25 of 30 for 284 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 carries for 10 yards. And then Karlaftis was the left edge for the Chiefs, 5 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, and 2 fumble recoveries. Was the Player of the Week for that week. Now, looks like we can go ahead and jump to Regional Focus Scouting. In the West, we are going to be looking at corners, so let's go ahead and set corners for that one. We're going to be doing edge in the Central. Doing linebackers in the Northeast. And wide receivers in the Southeast. All right, and now we can go ahead and check out this defensive line breakout. Corbin Darby showed flashes last game. What are your expectations moving forward? Let's see, how high are your expectations for Corbin Darby? I mean, they're high, but they're not very high. I mean, he's still a rookie at he's still our number 2, but I'll say above average. Kind of do a medium goal for him. We're going to put more pressure on him. We are confident we haven't seen his best yet. So that should be a pretty decent one. Get him 3+ tackles for a loss for a dev upgrade. Oh, nice. All right. And now let's go ahead and go to weekly strategy. All right. So for this week against the second-year Cam Ward led Titans, we're going to go ahead and go with Stamina Stealer for the first one. Reason being is, especially now it's gold, this kind of neutralizes their biggest strength. Their defense line's physical early, but they don't have much stamina, so they fade fast if you constantly run at them. So with this ability, with us fatiguing the D-line and linebackers every 4+ yard run, and that will help open up the play action game too, that's going to be huge for us, I think. We're also going to do Blitz Buster. That way we can, again, hopefully get better success against those rush moves against that pretty strong D-line they could have over there to protect McCarthy and give us some more timing for play actions. Outside the club, we had a great running game with Mason last game, almost 100 yards. So hopefully we can keep that going to keep creating some wide lanes for him. And, this is kind of a counter to their biggest strength. They're very strong against the run, so I'm hoping this helps. Then, of course, we're going to go with Riot Shield. And that's just, again, it's mandatory against any line that's strong. And our offensive line needs as much boost as it can against strong lines. Then we're going to run Trench Barons. Same thing. It strengthens those double teams, helps with combo blocks, and helps our zone run game a little bit better. So we're hoping that works. And then Play Fake Magician. Obviously, we do a lot of play action. So we want them to bite hard on play action so we can hit those explosives. For play sheets, we're going to do the shot plays. That way we have a mix of those, same thing, those under center play actions with quick rhythm throws. It helps keep our scheme a little bit intact but at the same time, it gives us those deep crossers, those play action bombs, and the +3 to pass block attributes. And then, of course, we're going to run Masters of Disguise. That way we can force Ward to hopefully hold on to the ball, throw from the pocket, make late reads, and then scramble into pressure. So kind of like what we did against Daniels. I don't think he's as agile as Daniels is. And with this working against Daniels, I think how we did this is all going to also work against him. And then the same thing for our trainer abilities, impact guard, and off-field rejuvenation for wear and tear and whatnot. So let's go ahead and see who we will be without if there's any injuries for this game. First, we need to do our restings and whatnot. So let's see. If anybody on our offense needs a rest or half pad, we do. So Reinhardt's going to half pad it. And then on defense, let's see if we need anything on defense. We do not. So now we can see if we have anybody injured. All right, so big part of this game, our star receiver, Justin Jefferson, will not be playing this game. He has a left leg quad strain, so he is out this game. And then our backup left tackle, Sheldon Colbert, is also out with a high left ankle sprain. We have our full defense, but not having Justin Jefferson could be a big break to our offense. So let's see how our offense does without having our star receiver. We have some upgrades. So Ty Felton, we're going to upgrade his deep threat, and hopefully he's going to play a bigger part in this game with Jefferson being out. We're going to get +3 to deep route and then +1 to juke move, medium route, and release. So nice set of upgrades for him. Wide receiver Tyquan Thornton, we're going to upgrade his deep threat as well. Hopefully we get some deep threat out of him as well. So catching +1, medium route and specialty catch +2, and release +3. So that could help because I believe he's going to be our wide receiver 3 this game now. And then Jonathan Albertson, our Mike rookie, will upgrade his pass coverage. And let's see what we get for that. +2 to awareness, +3 to man coverage, and +1 to pursuit. So that's actually a solid set of upgrades for him. And then Dylan McMahon, our backup center, will upgrade his agile. And hopefully we get some good stuff out of this. +1 to pass block finesse and +2 to run block finesse. So we'll see what happens with that. And that is it for this week. So I will see you guys in the game against the Titans in Tennessee. All right, so it looks like we're going to have our first ranked game of the season. It's going to be Titans ball to start. 1st and 10 at their own 29. Ward under center. Takes a snap, hands it off, and he's going to get to the edge, and he's going to get brought down by, Kalal Mullings. I didn't recognize him as the Titans running back. Interesting. So 8-yard run for Mullings. It's 2nd and 2. It's going to fake, and Ward's going to keep this one. He's going to get met this time by Wingard, and that's going to be a gain of 0. So to bring up a 3rd and 2 now at the 37-yard line. Vikings set up looking like they're going to be bringing a rush. They do bring everybody. It's going to be a toss out, and he has the edge, and he's going to be able to race down the sideline. And what a mistake by our defense, and that's going to be a 63-yard run for a Tennessee Titans 7-0 lead off the legs of Kalal Mullings. So after forcing a Vikings punt, it's Titans ball again. 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. 10 minutes, just over 10 to go here in this first quarter. Ward fakes the handoff. He's looking, throws a deep pass. He's got an open receiver who catches it, but out of bounds. So what a break for our defense. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 now at the 27 due to the off-target throw there by Ward. So Ward in shotgun. He's got Mullins, or whatever his name was, over there to his right. Mullings, that's right. And now it's 3rd and 3 from the 34-yard line. So it's a gain of 7 on that. Ward in shotgun. Takes a snap, got to hand it off, and this one's going to be for a 1st down and more, and that's going to be a gain of about 11 for Mullings, and he's already closing in on 100 yards from that major breakout to start the game. Now 1st and 10 at the 45. Ward under center, hands it off to Mullings, who tries to get to the edge, and he does, and he's got nothing but space again. And Metellus has to come in to make the tackle. That's 110 yards in this first quarter. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And they're just destroying us with this run game right now. Cashman whiffs on that tackle, but he does go down for a loss of 1. So it's now 2nd and 11 at the 36. Ward in shotgun. Takes the snap. He's looking to pass. He's got time. Gets the pass out. It's going to be complete, and that's going to be a gain of 7 on the play down to the 29-yard line. So we're now looking at a 3rd and 4. Ward's once again in shotgun. It looks like that might be Mullins in there again to his right. It was not. It was somebody else, but that's going to be caught across the middle of the field. And that's going to be Calvin Ridley for another Titans first down. So 1st and 10 now at the 20. They're officially in the red zone. Ward under center. Mullins is back in now. It's going to be hand off to Mullins, who plows through a defender. And I don't know who that is. It looks like Asante Samuel just got blasted by Mullins. And it's now 2nd and 3 after that 7-yard gain. They're at the 13-yard line, knocking on the door for another score. Send a man in motion. Wards calls for the snap, gets it, hands it off to Mullins, who runs right up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of 4. And now it's 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. And we need this defense to hold. We do not want to go into a 14-point, 2-touchdown deficit right off the bat. And that's what we do, a 9-yard run by the Titans' second-string running back. Who was that? Rookie Corey Hodge. And they take a 14-0 lead over the Vikings here in Nashville. All right, so now it's Vikings ball after a punt by the Titans. It's 1st and 10 at the 16. McCarthy under center. Hands it off to Mason, who tries to make a cutback, but only gets 1 yard on the play, so it's now 2nd and 9. McCarthy's going to be under center with Mason in the backfield. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, he rolls left, and McCarthy's going to scramble. He has a lane. He's going to scramble forward, and he's going to get nailed at the 32. That's going to be a gain of 15 yards on that run, and it's 1st and 10 now. And we need something. We need to get some momentum going. We need a score. McCarthy in shotgun. Mason in the backfield to his left. He hands it off to Mason, who cuts through, tries to find some room, and only gets a yard. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. And at the end of 1, it's the Titans 14 and the Vikings 0. All right, so now here we go at the start of the second quarter. It's 2nd and 9 at the 33. McCarthy under center. Mason in the backfield. Makes a handoff. Gets the throw off. And it's going to be caught by Hawkinson, who's going to get 10 yards on a play and a Vikings first down. It's now 1st and 10 at the 43. McCarthy's under center with Mason in the backfield. We're going to send Felton in motion. McCarthy with the snap, hands it off to Mason, who tries to get to the edge, but he's met, and that's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. So now 2nd and 11 at the 43. McCarthy in shotgun this time. Got 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. McCarthy with the snap, looking to throw, gets the pass off, and it's going to be to Addison, who is wide open on a crossing route down to the 37-yard line. Nice gain there, and it's a 1st and 10 now on the Titans' 37-yard line. So offset I formation this time. You got Prentice and Mason in the backfield. McCarthy's going to hand it off to Mason, who tries to make it to the edge, and that's a loss of 3. I don't know why he made that cutback. He had an opening right up that seam. But nonetheless, it's 2nd and 13 now at the 40. McCarthy in shotgun. He's going to send Felton a little bit in motion. Takes the snap, hands it off to Mason, who's going to try to get to the edge, and he doesn't quite make it. He does get 2 yards on it, but it's going to be a 3rd and 11 now at the 38. So McCarthy's going to be in shotgun. You got Justice Hill checked in now in place of Jordan Mason. McCarthy with the low snap. He's able to handle it. He's got time, moving up in the pocket, gets the throw. Quick throw. It's going to be a gain of 3, but that's going to force a Vikings field goal attempt. So this one for Reichert's going to be a 52-yard field goal from the right hash. Wait for the snap. There's the snap. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Off the upright, and the Titans still have a 14-0 lead over the Vikings. So now after that missed field goal, it's 1st and 10 for the Titans at their own 42-yard line. Got to hand it off to Mullins, who's going to get tackled for a no gain on the play, so 2nd and 10. And other than that first couple open series runs, I mean, we had that one big run, but other than that, we've actually been playing pretty decent against the run. But he's going to roll out Van Ginkel in pursuit, and Van Ginkel's going to get to him, and that's going to be a sack. And that's a 10-yard sack for Andrew Van Ginkel to force a 3rd and 21 for this Titans offense. So now Ward's going to be in shotgun. He's got Mullins behind him to the left. It's going to, or not Mullins, that's going to be Hodge. He sends Hodge in motion. Ward, empty backfield now, takes the snap, gets the throw off. It's going to be caught, and it's an open receiver all the way down to the 38-yard line, and that's Ayamaner. I'm sure I butchered that name, but Why did we leave him wide open like that? Just a breakdown in coverage there, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Vikings. Ward's going to hand it off to Mullings, who could not get to the edge. That's Asante Samuel on the tackle. 3-yard loss on the play. It's now 2nd and 13 at the 41-yard line. Ward in shotgun. Takes a snap. Fakes the handoff to Hodge. Just there's a toss to Hodge, who gets blasted by Van Ginkel. It's going to be a gain of a couple maybe on the play, and that's going to be a 3rd and 9 now at the 38. Ward in shotgun with Hodge. Takes a snap. Looking to pass. Pocket's collapsing, but he throws it incomplete to the ground, and that's going to force a Titans field goal attempt. So after back-to-back punts, it's now Titans ball. Minute 26 to go here in this first half. 14-point lead. 1st and 10 at their own 40. Ward under center. Quick throw out. It's going to be caught, and he'll be tackled at the 45. Clock's going to keep running. 2nd and 5 now. Ward's going to be under center with the snap. Hands it off. Little slip there, and it's going to be for no gain. So 3rd and 5 now at the 46. Titans take their first timeout, so minute 1 to go. Ward in shotgun. Takes a snap. He's going to move around. He throws on the run, and it's going to be intercepted. And that's Josh Metellus on the interception. Toe taps the sideline. And this could be the momentum changer that the Vikings needed, because we've been just dead in the water this game. So what a job by Josh Metellus. We'll watch that again. Just right on the edge, overthrown, and he toe taps the sideline. 1, 2, both feet are in, and he holds on, and it's Vikings ball. 1st and 10 now at the 28-yard line, and they have momentum now, so let's see what happens. McCarthy in shotgun, low snap, takes it. Quick throw out to Mason, who's met immediately, only gets a gain of 1. Vikings call their first timeout, so it's 2nd and 9 now at the 29-yard line. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun. You got Justice Hill to his right this time. With the snap, looking to pass. McCarthy moving up in the pocket, and just completely not on the same page, and that's going to fall incomplete. And it's now 3rd and 9 at the 29-yard line. Hill's in again to his left, but they have not seemed to be able to get on the same page. Going to send Hawkinson in motion. Top of the screen to the bottom. McCarthy with the snap, fakes it, throws it, and it's going to be caught by, that looks like, who is that? Leonard, and that's going to be a first down at the 29, or not Leonard, sorry, that's Thornton. And now it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He hands it to Mason, who makes a cutback, makes a couple of cuts, and he rumbles forward for a gain of about 11. Vikings call their second timeout. It's now 1st and 10 at the 50. And we're finally seeing some awakening in this offense. McCarthy in I formation under center. Hands it off to Mason, who makes a hesitate move and ends up going nowhere. It's a gain of nothing. The Vikings call a timeout due to an injury to, who is that, Radunz, it looks like. So now it's 2nd and 10 at the 50. No timeouts remaining. 35 seconds to go. McCarthy with the snap. Quick throw out to Addison, who breaks the first tackle, gets past the first down marker, and is knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10 now in enemy territory. McCarthy in shotgun. Hill to his left, takes the snap, hands it off to Hill, who bounces off a tackle, and that's no gain. And they're going to be in hurry-up mode now. I'm guessing they're probably going to spike this one, or they're just going to go for it. We'll see. 2nd and 10. They spike the ball, leaves 20 seconds on the clock, so now it's a 3rd and 10 at the 39. McCarthy's going to be in an empty backfield. You got trips at the bottom of your screen. McCarthy with the low snap, pulls it in, throws as he's hit, and it's going to be out of bounds, incomplete, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 10. So after back-to-back punts to start the second half, it's Vikings ball, 1st and 10 at their own 35. McCarthy under center, takes it, hands it off to Mason, who pushes through that first tackler, but could not get back to line of scrimmage. It's still going to be a loss of 3 on the play. So 2nd and 13 now from the 32-yard line. McCarthy's going to go empty backfield this time. Trips at the top of your screen. McCarthy with the ball. He's got time. He throws it, and it's going to be caught. And that's going to be, who was that? I didn't see who caught that. But regardless, that's going to be a gain of about 12 or so on the play. It's going to be 1st and 10 now at the 45. McCarthy in I formation, takes the snap, hands it off to Mason, who runs up the middle, and he's going to get a gain of 3 on the play this time. 2nd and 7 now at the 49-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun. He's got Hill in the game now to his left. Takes a snap. He's looking. He's got time. Gets a throw away. It's caught, and that's going to be a penalty on a play, so that's coming back. And that's another hold. It better not be freaking Darisaw again. Nah, this one's Brian O'Neill. That's his 3rd or 4th hold in 3 games. It's now 2nd and 17 from the 39-yard line, and now here we are shooting ourselves in the foot. McCarthy with the snap, looking, he's got a pass, and it's going to be another penalty, and this long play to Hawkinson's going to come back. Come on, man. It's going to be another hold by the Vikings offense, this time by Brian O'Neill again. Come on, Brian, that's 2 holding calls every game so far this season. And now it's McCarthy's in a 2nd and 27 from the 29, takes the snap, quick pass to Hawkinson. This one goes for a gain of 5, so it's 3rd and 22 now, after 2 first downs have been pulled back because of freaking penalties. And it's now McCarthy in shotgun, takes a snap. He's got time, looking. He's going to throw a deep lob. He's got a receiver, and it's going to be caught. And it's caught down at the 29-yard line. And who's this? Is that Leonard or Thornton? I don't know who 85 is. Just got to watch the replay. I'm trying to get a name on this one because I don't know who 85 is. Because that's probably one of his first catches. And it's Thornton, so it's Tyquan Thornton on the catch. A huge catch for us. And now we're in Titans territory, 1st and 10 at the 29. And we're coming out in I formation. It's a toss out to Mason, who's got blockers, but Darrisaw was beaten badly on that play. And that's a loss of 3. Play blown up in the backfield. And it's now 2nd and 13 at the 33-yard line. McCarthy in shotgun. Mason to his left, slightly behind him, or to his right. McCarthy waiting. He gets a throw, throws it across the middle, and it's going to be knocked out incomplete, and that was intended for Addison, who drops another pass. And now L'Jarius Sneed is going to be injured on the play. That's going to open up some things in the passing game possibly, though. So now 3rd and 13. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun. Waiting for the snap. Takes a snap. Looking to pass. He's got a clean pocket so far. He's got plenty of time. He's going to throw it deep. And he's got a jump ball to Felton, and it's going to be incomplete. And that's going to be a Vikings field goal attempt. So this one's going to be from just inside 50 yards from the left hash. Reichert has been iffy from 50. This kick is up. Just missed getting blocked, and the kick is good. And the Vikings pull within 11, 14-3. All right, so after that field goal, it's 1st and 10 for the Titans now at their own 32-yard line. 8:01 to go here in this 3rd quarter. I formation. Ward hands it off, and he's going to get tackled in the ball, and he's going to say a gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 9 now at the 33. Ward in shotgun for this one. Takes a snap. He's got to fake the handoff. He's going to throw short, quick throw, and he's got room on the outside. It's going to be a 1st down and more. It's going to be a gain of 15 on the play. And it's going to be 1st and 10 now at the 48-yard line. Ward's going to be in shotgun. Vikings defense has to hold here. We cannot let them score again if we want to stay in this game. Let me hand it off. Dallas Turner on the tackle there. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7 now at the 49-yard line. Ward's going to come out under center. I think that's Mullings still in the backfield. They're going to hand it off. It is. He's been shifty, and Metellus brings him down after a gain of a couple to bring up a 3rd and 3 now at the 45. And we desperately need a stop here to force another punt. So hopefully this defense is up to the challenge. Ward with the snap. He's got time. He's going to throw it deep, and it's going to be caught. And he outruns Cashman, and that's Calvin Ridley for another Titans 1st down. 1st and 10 down at the 15-yard line. Unbelievable. And we just have no answers for this Titans offense in this ring game. Ward with the snap. He's able to pull it in, hands it to Mullings, who runs up the middle. That's going to be a gain of 9. And it's now 2nd and 1 at the 7. And I'm watching the hopes of winning our 2nd of 3 games go down the drain at this point. And he tries to get around, and he's able to get stopped, but not until after he gets the 1st down. And it's 1st and goal now for the Titans at the 5-yard line. And now Ward's in shotgun, takes a snap, wide open receiver, and that's another Titans touchdown. And that's going to be a 21-3 lead for the Titans. So after another Titans touchdown, it's a 21-3 game now. It's Vikings ball, 1st and 10 at their own 28. They're down by 18. Hand off to Hill, who has a hole up the middle and a blocker, and he's able to get up to the 43-yard line, so that's a run of 15 yards. And it's now 1st and 10. Let's see if this offense can wake up and maybe try to stay in this game. McCarthy in shotgun, takes a snap, Mason in there. This one's going to be a throw to Felton. It's going to be caught for a gain of 5. It's now 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line. McCarthy in empty backfield. McCarthy with the snap. He's got time, quick throw out, and it's going to fall incomplete past the 10 for Ty Felton. The pass is thrown a little low. And now McCarthy on a 3rd and 5 in shotgun. He's got Hill to his right. Takes a snap. He's looking. He's got time. Throws it. And he's got a wide open Ty Felton. And that's going to be a first down to the 38-yard line. Great throw and catch there. And it's 1st and 10 now. McCarthy under center. Mason in the backfield. McCarthy hands it off to Mason, who runs, has a hole up the middle, slips, does get a gain of 7 on the play. It's now 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line. But we're finally moving down the field. Let's see if we can turn this into a touchdown. McCarthy under center, hands it off to Mason, who has a hole, and he beats the coverage, and he's able to get in, and that's a Vikings touchdown. What a run by Jordan Mason. And we have ourselves a ball game, 21-10. Titans still have an 11-point lead. So after the Vikings force another Titans punt, it started the 4th quarter. They're down 21-10, 1st and 10 at their own 45, offset I formation, great field position. They hand it off to Mason, who runs out the middle, and he fumbles. He fumbles on the hit, and it's recovered by Tennessee. And what a horrible decision by him to reach out for it like that. And now the Titans have just erased any momentum that the Vikings had. Now it's 1st and 10 Titans at their own 43. And what was great field position turned into a horrible disaster. They hand it off. Mullings is able to get through the first tackler and is get forward for a gain of 4. And it's now 2nd and 6 at the 47-yard line. And we need the defense to stand pat again here. It's going to be a handoff again. Who's going to run up the middle? It's going to be a gain of 4. And it's now 3rd and 2 at the 49. And let's see if this defense can get in the backfield here. Ward in shotgun. Takes a snap. He hands it off to Mullings, who's met by Cashman, and it's going to be a tackle for no gain. And that should be a Titans punt. All right, so after some more back-to-back punts, it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 11. They're going to come out in offset I formation. McCarthy with the snap, hands it off to Hill, who has a huge hole, and he breaks it, and he might be able to go all the way, or is he going to be chased down? They finally get to him at the 38-yard line. But what a run by Justice Hill. And we suddenly have momentum once again. That's going to be a gain of about, 60? Or no, that's about 52 yards. It's now 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. McCarthy under center. Hill still in the game in the backfield. We're going to send, look like that was Felton in motion. And we're going to hand it off to Hill, who runs up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of 8. And it's now 2nd and 2 at the 29-yard line. And the Vikings are trying to grind their way back into this game, down by 11. A fake handoff. McCarthy's going to keep it. He had a blocker, and there's going to be a flag. And once again, we're going to start shooting ourselves in the foot. There's an illegal block in the back. And let me guess, it's Brian O'Neill again for his 3rd penalty of the game. It's now 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line. McCarthy's going to be in shotgun. Looks like Hill's still in the game to his left. McCarthy takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Hill, who has a huge opening. And that's going to be a gain of 4. And it's going to be a 3rd and 2 now at the 30. Or sorry, that's a gain of 6. And now McCarthy's going to be in shotgun. Hill's in the game again to his right. McCarthy's going to send Thornton in motion, takes a snap, hands it off to Hill, who makes the cut but goes nowhere. And it's now 4th and 3 at the 31. And the Vikings are going to attempt a field goal. This is going to be a 48-yard field goal attempt from the right hash in the rain. Reichert's kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Vikings pull within 8 here in the waning minutes of the 4th quarter. All right, so the defense did their job, forced the punt. So here we are, 2:24 left to go in the game. They're down by 8, 2 timeouts, 1st and 10 at their own 24. McCarthy with the snap, throws a bullet across the middle, and it's intended for Addison, and he drops it on contact. It's now 2nd and 10. The Vikings could tie this game here in his waning seconds here, but we'll see. McCarthy empty backfield with the snap. He's got time. He moves around, gets the throw off, and it's going to be caught by Addison, and that's going to be a first down at the 37-yard line. And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning, and it's an 8-point, 21-13 lead by Tennessee. But Vikings have the ball and are attempting a comeback for the ages here. So 1st and 10 now at the 37. McCarthy with the snap, hands it off to Hill, who stumbles, but he's still able to get a couple on the play. That's a gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6, clock down to 1:38. They're at the 40-yard line. McCarthy with the snap, hands it off to Hill, who gets to the edge, and he's able to get down. That's a gain of 5. Vikings call a timeout. O'Neill is injured, so that's going to shut down our right side quite a bit. It's now 3rd and 1 at the 45. We have 1 timeout left due to that injury. McCarthy's under center. You've got Hill in the backfield. McCarthy takes a snap, hands it off to Hill, who bounces off of his own defender, but he's able to get in for a gain of about 2, and it's now 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. We're in hurry-up mode. McCarthy, empty backfield here, trips at the top of your screen. McCarthy gets the ball out, and he throws, and it's intended for Addison, but he cannot hold on through contact. And it's 2nd and 10, but that does stop the clock. We've got 1:17 to go, still have the one timeout. We're just shy of midfield, 2nd and 10. McCarthy with the snap, quick throw to Hawkinson, who cannot hold on, and it's now 3rd and 10 at the 48-yard line. McCarthy's going to come out I formation this time. McCarthy drops back. He has a clean pocket. It's closing, and he's going to go down, and that's going to be a Titans sack. And that's their first sack of the game, and at the worst time, and it's now a 4th and 18 at the 40. And it all comes down to this play for the Vikings. McCarthy with the snap, clean pocket. It's starting to close. He gets the ball off. He gets the throw down, and it's going to be intended for Hawkinson. Incomplete. And the Titans take over, and that is going to be the game. They'll be able to kneel it out, and the Vikings will end up losing their second of the first 3 games, 21-13 to the Titans in Nashville. So player stats. So for passing, McCarthy was 18 of 36 for 190 yards and no touchdowns. Cam Ward was 19 of 25 for 168 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. For rushing, Kaleb Mullings, 21 rushes for 147 yards, including that big 63-yard run to open the game. Mason ended up 19 rushes for 69 yards, and Hill had 10 for 99. So great job by our running game there. Receiving, looks like our top receiver ended up being Jordan Addison with 5 receptions for 71 yards. And then for the defense, we only had a couple of sacks this game. We had Olawafami Oladejo had 1 sack for the Titans. And then we had Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel both had a sack for the Vikings. All right, so we have a storyline. We'll go ahead and check out our D-line breakout off of Darby. I wonder if he got his stuff. I didn't look at it. Need to figure out what happened with Corbin Darby this week, so I'm guessing he was shut down. Not sure if last game was a fluke or just a flash in the pan, but I wanted him to do a better play this week. And he still remains a star. And with that, we're going to close out episode 16. We had a 3-game stretch that showed every side of this young Vikings team. We opened with a tough 24-19 loss to the Saints at home, a game where we moved the ball pretty well, but we couldn't finish drives when it mattered the most. Then we bounced back on the road with a strong and convincing 26-16 win over the Commanders, played our most complete defensive game of the episode, and finally finding rhythm in a vertical zone run offense. But then the finale in Tennessee, that was a slugfest, a rain-soaked field position body blow game where every yard felt earned. We had chances, we hung in it, but ultimately fell 21-13 to the Titans on the road. 1 win and 2 losses, a stretch that's defined by grit. We had some flashes of growth with our rookies, and a reminder that this rebuild is still climbing. The foundation seems to be here, but now it's about consistency, execution, and learning how to close out these tight games. But this story isn't finished, not even close. But if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of this Vikings rebuild. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What stood out? What worried you? And what do you want to see as we push deeper into the season? And who do you think was the weak point and the strong point throughout these first 3 games? And if you want exclusive content, sliders, and behind-the-scene breakdowns and more, don't forget to check out channel membership and our Patreon tiers. I'll see you guys in episode 17. Skol!